Hello?
Would you do me the honor of sharing audio to the stream, if there is any? If not, I will put on just a little bit of
Hello?
I can hear you. How's everybody doing?
What's up, everybody? 69 concurrent viewers. That's what I like to see.
Very nice.
I heard you, Jake. Real quick. All hail.
Oh no,
Last stream's Monarch. Clay G this morning coming through with the 5 gifted. Madman. All hail. Stream Monarch resets.
Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. This is the second stream tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about March of the Machines, and then we're going to build a couple of these new, hot, tight, brand spanking new, hot off the press, smacking commanders
Juicy.
that were very juicy. We have one that is a Dino Blight Steel that we're going to tinker with.
They got that crunch that makes you want some lunch.
They've got that crunch and the lunch, the lunch crunch. But we are going to build some decks, and as all of you know, none of these cards are currently available on MitGo, so all of the play testing that we do will be from building a deck, having a commander as a placeholder, and then just drawing some sample hands is kind of like what we're thinking. Right, Joel? That sounds... I'm correct.
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
We are able to use the Moxfield gold fishing program as a virtual webcam, so you can play them on spell table, but we'd have to get a group of people together for that, and
that
would
is pretty sweet.
Come together quick while we're streaming, so unlikely. Chat, we got a lot of good news this morning. Well, a lot of news nonetheless. Some good, some less good, some we like, some that kind of annoys us, quite honestly. It's one of those times. It was the previewiest season of times. It was the spoileriest season of times. And it's just like, can it ever stop? It won't stop. Won't stop till you get enough. The beauty is, Etali Primal Conqueror. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page. Want to build that deck tonight. See how quickly we can get a little Etali Primal Conquered.
I mean, imagine essentially playing Blightsteel as your commander. Like being able to be like, Blightsteel is going to be my commander. And you have the appropriate spells to ramp to it. You're in the colors that can do it as your commander. So there's, like, for me, some very obvious things about this build that I'll want to include, and we'll talk about that when we get there. You know what we should talk about, though, is we should discuss the Collecting March of Machines article that came out today that we did not cover earlier on the stream. If you did miss the stream earlier this morning, we did cover all of the stuff from today's announcement that was at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard. That is March 29th. Is the date of today. And yeah, man, it's a pretty stacked set. It's a fun set.
It looks pushed.
It's got a cool theme. It's just yeah, I'm a fan. I like it.
I like it too. It is the Magic set that is the most closely related to the Daft Punk song Around the World. I feel like that could just be playing perpetually while everybody does battle with Phyrexians. Let's pop over and check out this collecting article real fast.
Yeah, sounds good. And we don't even have to spend a ton of time on this article, but it is worth mentioning. We do have the estimated odds and a confirmation on what cards are going to be included in a serialized treatment for anybody who's interested in the serialized info.
Yeah, so they, with this set, are going all out. March of the Machine is full in previews at this point, and they have come from the collecting aspect from like every single possible angle that you could come at it. Inside,
yeah, so if you are somebody who's going to drop hot stacks of cash on this, you would definitely want to read this. Sorry to interrupt you there.
You got hot stacks. This is the set. They're trying to get you to spend those hot stacks.
They want to find out what kind of stacks you have, being the kind of pancakes that you're cooking with, and they are trying to milk as much of your pancakes off of the table as possible into their pancake bowl.
Multiverse Legends is one of the booster funds that has drawn a lot of hype. You can kind of see hiding behind chat there. Ragavan Nimble Pilferer in that masterpiece frame from Kaladesh. You'll see that across all these. They all get a showcase frame from their plane, whether it previously existed or not. Each set and draft booster contains one of these Multiverse Legends. So I say we'll just kind of set the foundation of all this collectible and work all the way up to how crazy it gets. None of these cards are standard legal, but each card's a reprint and can be played in the formats in which they're already legal, as well as sealed and draft of March of the Machine. So every set and draft booster gets a Multiverse Legends card. Yep. This is 16 different treatments of them. This is not the entire list, but
there is, I believe, a list of 65. And so it's going to be all of the uncommons, rares, and mythics. It's going to be every single one of them.
No.
And these are the different frames that they're going to appear in.
Yeah, and Jank asked a very, very important question. Wow, not in collector? And that's right. These are draft and set. We got different versions for all of the high-end collectible stuff that you want. But I think that that is a misconception that a lot of people are having. You're going to see these a lot, depending on their rarity, because they're going to be one per set or draft booster. This is the set within the set for this set.
Now they do appear in collector boosters. Don't be wrong about that. What it is it's a different foiling that they will appear in collector boosters in.
Correct. Higher end collectible, and that's really,
and that is where you have the serialized. Yeah.
Right. I like this take on it, because now not only do we have this like tier stepped rarity of high end cards, so that if you just want a base copy to play with, you can afford it. But now we're getting different rarities of collectible cards. And so while previously, you know, Niv Mizzet Reborn here in the brand new to this set Ravnica showcase frame, you might get this only in collector boosters, or in collector boosters as a foil and an etched foil. But now it's really widely available. And the next step up for the collector booster is, like Jake said, that different foiling and the serialized nature of it. Jake, real quick, I just needed to point this one out. Did you see this one?
Yeah, so there's actually a comment I want to make about this. I want to respond to D Hammer here first, who said there's going to be commons of those also, just like Mystical Archive. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be commons. I haven't seen any commons yet. But it is my understanding that it for me, it reminds me the most of Brothers War. 20
uncommons, 30 rares, 15 mythics, 65 multiverse legends.
Right. So no commons. And then there are going to be different tiers of these cards that you can find in set boosters and draft boosters. And then again, in the collector booster, you're going to have a different foiling, and that's where you can find the serialized version of it. So there is a chart, like they always do these charts where you can look at and you can see what packs have what. I love that they started doing this, because early on you had to depend on people who read articles and sleuths who made videos to try to break it down, or just watch packs getting opened. I really like these treatments, but Joel, to your question, which was, did I see this? Yes. And I want to make a comment about this, because now we've seen this, and we've seen the monkey, we've seen Ragavan
masterpiece,
and this makes me think that now what they're doing is they're retroactively going back, and they're saying, when we go back to Kaladesh, when we go back to Amonkhet, these will be the showcase frames, and then all of those masterpieces that were printed ages ago, just kind of get grandfathered into.
Those were showcase frames. We just didn't know what to call them yet.
We didn't know what they were yet.
Right.
And it doesn't, I don't think it's going to make any of those cards less valuable unless they say middle fingers in the air and we're just going to reprint all of those cards
again.
Yeah. So yeah, this makes me think that they're kind of like tying all of this in. They're like, oh, well, if we go back to Kaladesh, I don't even think we need to go back to the drawing board. No pun intended. And then you end up having your frames are already solved for you. You're just able to drop art behind them, and
for me,
there you go.
Quantum. I like that you made.
Thank you for joining the token creatures.
Quantum, we appreciate that. You now get our anthem, as do all of our token creatures. +1/+1 flying, first strike, haste, vigilance, indestructible, trample, but we do have to sacrifice one of you at the beginning of every upkeep, so look out for that. You also get our emojis and a badge in our Discord. I want to find something real fast.
King Ginger, are you saying that would make you sad if they my inventions are worth a small Honda Civic? That would make you sad if they decided to retroactively go back and do that with all of these cards?
So my problem with Emoti here is that I already wasn't the hugest fan of this frame. It's fine. I don't hate it like a lot of people hated it. But why did you use Bellerin font on this? I actually kind of liked it more as the hieroglyphics. But look at this. So this is a favorite follow of mine on Twitter, the Proxy Guy, at the Proxy Guy. Make sure you're following him on Twitter if you're not. Centered with this sort of blocked off all caps text. This is just a proxy that he made. But look how much cleaner. It's almost the exact same frame, but look how much cleaner the text and everything looks. This looks, honestly, to me, like somebody mocked it up to go put it on Reddit.
On MTG Arena, truthfully.
Also that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good observation.
It looks like MTG Arena.
I just really don't like
I hate the complete departure from the original aesthetic. Just keep it the hieroglyphic text if you're going back to this, or whatever the pseudo hieroglyphic text.
Yes.
This looks like absolute booty cheddar to me, dude.
100%.
And yeah,
I needed to have my old man yells at cloud moment, but I think this is more of a old man yells at bad design moment, because I just my eyes don't like this. And I think there are ways to do it better while not changing a ton.
Yeah, I mean, they could have made. Dude,
look at how clean the Ixalan treatment looks.
Well, yeah, because what they're doing is they're course correcting on something that when it originally came out, it was like taking a shit on a kid's birthday cake. You know, it was like, but the thing that they've created now is worse than that, dude. And so it's like it's
treatment
worse than
here. You got
this is great.
You got unique art. All of the arts of these that I've seen are like on this coin. They look like they're on a giant coin embedded in a stone wall. You got tribal influence all across it. Even the Bellerin font looks fine on here because it's in the white to contrast that versus this being in all black. It's crazy to me the difference between how good this card looks and how much I want it, and how much I need to complain for a second that a week ago I bought a foil Captain Lannery Storm, broke down and did it, and now they're reprinting it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And now I have to go get this copy. It's a deck where I want the showcase frame of the legends that I run to like represent their plane. And now they give me a Captain Lannery Storm when we previously didn't have one. Anyway, just didn't like the design there.
I love that like Ikoria treatment. That was one of my favorite treatments.
Oh, yes.
The showcase there, like very like comic book, high contrast.
This is gorgeous.
The art just pops. It's really cool.
Comic booky, almost cell shaded crystals off of this.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a complete, completely different aesthetic than most sets, and I really do love it.
Agreed. So that's
yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff.
Multiverse Legends. Somebody asked, and you were talking, Jake, about, are they in collector booster? Yes, extra special versions. Multiverse Legends cards also appear in Halo foil in collector boosters. Everybody with me, go, ooh.
This for me, if the card is flat, I'll be fine with it.
Right. I have nothing to say about this. It's a different type of foiling. God bless.
Yes, exactly. God bless.
That's all I got to say about that. Each Multiverse Legends also has 500 serialized versions, 1 to 500, and appears on a double rainbow version of our traditional foil. Everybody say, ooh.
Now, what this one reminds me of is like this foiling reminds me a little bit of FTV, like kind of not great foiling. But again, if the card is flat, I'm fine with it. And any serialized card is going to be a pretty valuable hit. It really comes down to at what frequency are they going to continue doing this, you know?
So the Halo foil rare or mythic rare appears in 10% of collector boosters. A Halo foil uncommon appears in 24%. Halo foils always have a planner frame treatment.
There will be a lot of them. Let's just say that.
100%. You're going to be able to find those cards. Less than 1% of collector boosters contain a serialized Multiverse Legends card. On top of those serialized Multiverse Legends cards appearing in less than 1% of collector boosters, each of the 5 Praetors found in March of the Machine also appear with serialized versions. Unlike the Multiverse Legends, the serialized versions of the Praetors have art that is unique to the serialized version. So the entire card, completely unique. Here is Jin Gataxius in our serialized treatment, kind of bent already, backwards. But clean.
Wait, no, what is... Oh, this is the Jin. Okay, yeah.
The 5 Praetors also appear in that serialized.
Yeah, so that is, chat, 70 cards total, or 35,000 new serialized cards that will be going into circulation from March of the Machine. So keep that in mind. And I think if we were to go back and look at Brothers War and how many artifacts they did that with over there, that number would possibly be comparable. Do we have anybody in chat who knows that off the top of their head, or we could go look for it here in just a moment if no one has that number?
As we look up that number, planner booster fun treatments are also a thing. Each rare or mythic rare legendary creature in March of the Machine also has a complimentary planner booster fun version in the frame of its home plane. 18 rares and 10 mythics feature the planner booster fun treatment in March of the Machine. They each appear in set, draft, and collector in foil and non-foil. 8% of draft boosters, 10% of set boosters contain a non-foil planner booster fun rare or mythic rare. So it's another slot in these boosters where you can get an alternate version of these cards.
All right, so MTG Gaming Bob saying bro had 64 cards. So if it had been no addition of the Praetors going in, then it would have been just one card more than last time.
64 serialized cards is what bro had.
Yeah, 64 or 32,000 serialized cards total that went into circulation. So 3,000 more going into circulation this time. And then we do know that there will be a serialized card in Lord of the Rings. I am not for sure right now the extent of what the serialized push will be in that set. But as of March of the Machine, 70 cards.
Dude, at this juncture, if they do it in another set and they go back to back to back, not counting Dominaria Remastered, I'm gonna be shocked that they are just going all in on running this serialized thing into the dirt. It was hype, and then it was cool, and now we're getting into like, okay, it exists territory, and if we go another set with it, which March of the Machine mini set, Lord of the Rings to follow, it's possible, Jake, that we end up in a world where it's every freaking set, and we go from hype to cool to okay, and now it's just commonplace, and this is going to be the serialized slot. And then we have to find what the market does for serialized cards. We go back into like a card power level rating system, right? Because You know, with something like Neon Ink Hidetsugu, it doesn't matter what the card's power level is. It's just based on the rarity of it and the color of that lining.
It's just stupidly rare. It's
Right.
like they took the rare slot, and it's like the only time that they've ever taken the rare slot, or the Hidetsugu slot, let's call it, and then they were like, let's have 3 additional tiers of rarity within that slot. So if you're lucky enough to find this slot, then you have to get super lucky to find the right color variant of it. So it's the only time they've ever done like a color swap kind of thing on a card.
But
so
it was just rare, completely not based on the power level of the card.
Oh, the card is shit. It's fine.
Then we go into a world of like, not just any serialized card inherently holds value. You'll have to get the special numbers, and you'll have to have the powerful cards. But I honestly don't think we're that far off. I could see them holding their hand on the serialized thing for the 1/1 ring to make it like the biggest possible, widest reaching announcement of this is the world we live in now with the collectability of our card game. We want to attract sports cards collectors. We want to attract non-game playing collectors, and very widely, very publicly, loudly,
just like money.
Exactly.
Just like money.
Say,
Who don't
look
give,
at what
who
we're
don't give
doing
a
over
shit.
here.
They're never going to sling a spell. They're just there for the big bucks.
So I could see why they would want to hold that big punch for the one ring to really help them go wide with that announcement in the collecting world. But I don't think we're but a year away from March of the Machine. Also, if that was next year, March of the Machine also features all 5 Praetors in 1/1 treatments, baby. And you have a special art, special treatment, 1/1 each Praetor. Like, who's the main character of the next Ixalan set? You got a special 1/1 of Watley and a vampire. And
go with me here.
I'm telling you, man, we're just not that far off.
10 different art of Watley that are all 1/1 of that
That's
art.
what I'm saying. We are not more than a year away from being into that sort of mire where it comes to the collectability of this game. And I use mire I feel like I invoke too much negativity by using the word mire there. What I really meant is just like the depth of how much collectability is going to be available for people that want to engage with it on that level.
I want to get this out about Lord of the Rings really quick before we completely move on from that thought. So in Lord of the Rings, and again, this is courtesy of MTG Gaming, Bob, you have the serialized 1/1, the One Ring that we've all seen everybody talking about. Will it be $1 million card? Then you have 300 Elven Soul Rings, 700 Dwarf Soul Rings, 900 Human Soul Rings. And then Bob was saying from earlier when we were talking about serialized in circulation, don't forget the 100 Viscera Seer in the Secret Lair. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're at the infancy of MTG serialized, and during Brothers War, we were speculating and saying, if they don't do this too much, this can be something very special. But we're now seeing that this looks like it's going to be part of what they do moving forward. At least that's what we can see here is with this and Lord of the Rings, the serialized thing is at the forefront, and that's that.
More borderless walkers, pretty standard fare at this point. Full art basics. This is a set staple.
Full art
now.
basics?
Oh wow, look at the full art basics. Amazing.
That's crazy. They went back. That's nuts. They did that the last set. That's cool.
Extendeds, which this was the new hotness someday, and never forget that as
Ultimate
you grow
Masters
up, the new hotness
toppers
will become the old boring.
That's right. I'm telling you, dude, it's going to be cards with the color swap. I think is going to be the big thing. I think it's going to be like Hidetsugu. I think that will probably be revisited again.
Well, full art basics. After that, we've also got pre-release promos, because why not have multiple of those? Each pre-release pack contains one of 3 additional pre-release promos. Gorogoro, Catilda, Slimefoot. You got some cool options here. We've explored some of these on stream, not all of them, but we will explore all of them at some point. So those are coming in the pre-release kits. These pre-release promos can also be found in different variants. You'll get one of these 3 promos at random in addition to your year stamp promo or mythic rare. They can be found in non-foil and traditional foil as well as their planner booster fun versions. Approximately 2/3 of pre-release packs. So look at this, chat. It goes deeper. How do we, said the executive in his boardroom seat, make the pre-release packs worth purchasing multiple? What would we do to have the pre-release packs present a further opportunity for income?
Where were did we even ever see the charts? The chart.
We haven't gotten there yet, bro. Look at, I don't know if chat can see it. No, it's because the screen's too zoomed in. Jake, look at the scroll here. We're 1/3 of the way through this page. 2/3 of pre-release packs contain a non-foil pre-release promo. 11% of pre-release packs contain a traditional foil pre-release promo. Slightly fewer than 15% contain a non-foil planner booster fun pre-release promo. And approximately 7.4% pre-release packs contain traditional foil planner booster fun pre-release promo. All right, so hopefully everybody's got that straight. These are different, but same. That's the big news here. Different, same.
John says, I'm exhausted. Yeah, it's like at some point your brain checks out and it goes, if I wanted to collect this, I don't even know where to start. It's like you would have to track down all the different spots to go try to find it. You'd be like,
look, we can widely skip this one.
Like, oh yeah, let's skip this because we talked about this earlier today.
Commander decks have plane chase cards in them. The buy a box promo is an alternate of Omnath Locus of All. If you want this one, you got to buy a box or buy it on the secondary market. Here we go.
Okay, so that Omnath, actually, for me, that's probably worth it because normally once per set, I will go to the LGS and just get a box. Even if I don't open it, I'll just set it on a shelf. And so this is a card that people are kind of hyped on. And so even though it's going to absolutely crater in price from wherever it's pre-release prices, which happens with most cards,
yes,
this is still worth picking up. If it's going to be the difference of ordering at the LGS on Amazon and you go to the LGS for like $10 more, at least you're going to get this card, whereas you're not going to get that if you're ordering from
it's a pretty Amazon cool one. I do it's like a great
this card. It's sweet,
and this treatment is rad. It's just a rad one. All right, here we go. Booster fun breakdowns. All right, where can you find full art basic lands? Everywhere. 1/3 of the time-ish. Collector boosters always have one. Multiverse Legends, at least one in every draft booster, at least one in every set booster, 3 in every collector booster. And remember, that's where can get those serialized.
Kind of like, yes, and that right there is kind of like where people are talking about the Mystical Archive.
Correct.
Yeah.
Extended arts, only in collector boosters, serialized in less than 1% of packs. So let's take a look at these.
Percentage. What's crazy about that percentage is we don't really know if that percentage is, 0.97% or like 0.13%. Like we don't really know what that percentage is. We just know it's less than 1.
I do.
I would like to hope that it's on the higher end, but
I know what percent it is.
One in every 100 packs. You might be lucky enough to find one, but that's a lot of money to spend on traditional serialized.
Traditional foils, 1/3 of draft boosters in some set boosters, 10 to 12 in every collector booster. Foil etched, no draft booster experience there, only sets and collectors. Halo foils in some collector boosters, and double rainbow foil serialized cards in less than 1% of packs. There it is, chat. That is where to collect the most craziest, most insanest, most nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But for anyone who is going to be interested in buying, multiple boxes of this, you're super hyped and you want to know, make sure to check the description of this video later and we are going to have a link to this article, but otherwise always know that with each set you can type in collecting and then the set name, and there's normally an article that comes with it. There's also something else that I want to talk about when we get through this article, which is the March of the Machine Aftermath product, which is going to be the first product that seems like a big departure from what we normally think of when we think of collector boosters, because instead of 15 cards per pack, we're going to have 6, and it just cuts down on a ton of that chafe. And there's also 4 rares or better per pack, which is essentially the whole point of opening a collector booster, is you skip past all that stuff in the beginning, go straight to the back and find the best stuff. So the collector box of March of the Machine Aftermath is going to be very different than any other collector box that's been released.
And that's a different set.
It is a different set, and it has to do with March of the Machine. It couldn't all end here, so we have this little extra set that's going to come out shortly after this set comes out that has some story points and some new cards. I believe there's 50 new cards that are going to be standard legal, and then there's going to be some other throwback stuff.
Well, yeah, there you go. Do you want me to pull up anything on that and we'll do it as a segment, or did you just want to mention it?
Oh, I don't even know. Did they put it in this article? They may have.
No,
they may
this
have
is all about March of the Machine. This is here. Let's look.
Oh, they do have something about Aftermath here.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Look at this. That's why this fucking article's so long.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot here to dig into, like, as far as, I mean, March of the Machine is essentially, it's their Infinity War, right? It's like there's so much going on and so many moving parts that, yeah, there's a set that comes out after this that's smaller, and the collector booster box is very different. So before you buy that on Amazon, make sure you read it's going to be 72 cards in 12 packs, because they have cut down dramatically on how many cards are in there. They're basically saying people don't care about the commons and uncommons. Let's just give them the 6 cards at the end, and yeah.
I have no idea about any of this.
You can actually, if you want to, you could go to Amazon and just look at like pre-sale prices of it. I think we covered most of what we needed to cover in this segment, which is, you know, where to find the important cards, the serialized stuff.
Right. Yeah. This one I'll chop about March of the Machine. We can cover the other ones. We can probably I'll need more information. We can make a whole video on that, because that'll be crazy.
Oh, on the Aftermath?
Yeah. Why is it that every single time the collector booster box has art on it that I'm like, I want that on a card, but
I know
it's not? It just seems to happen with every freaking set. I'm like, dude, this as like a full art, you can barely see the text kind of card. Like, if you could figure out a way to do the text, but the text is foiled, so you can really only see the text when you move the card a little bit or from different angles, this art would be so tight. It's just so weird.
Scroll down to the Aftermath art too, because it's kind of a similar argument.
Yeah, I saw it. It looks like
very cyberpunk,
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of.
Yes,
yeah,
Guardians.
Dude. I mean, tell me that's not like Gamora and who's the dumb one? I love Marvel. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Drax.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that art is awesome.
Big X over
the way I look at Aftermath,
face.
And this is really kind of, we hadn't planned on talking about this set tonight, so I really don't know anything about this. I haven't read anything about this yet, other than I knew it was like small and interesting.
Was on Amazon. Yeah. Amazon has like a very basic blurb that kind of explains.
Okay, here, I can pull that up over here. To me, this looks like they want to, story-wise, wrap this shit completely up so that they don't have to put Phyrexian anything anywhere else ever again. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a big enough event in the story that there's just no way that you could not, you couldn't acknowledge it as you went to the next plane to be like, here's the story of what's going on here. Well, they're picking up after the Phyrexian War. And 2 years from now, we'd still be doing sets. All right, let's go to Amonkhet. What's going on there? Well, they're picking up after the Phyrexian War still. And so I feel like from a lore standpoint, they had to have something like this. And then on top of it, Hasbro exec said, yeah, sounds like an opportunity.
Right, exactly. March of the Machine Aftermath, 12 March of the Machine Aftermath collector boosters full of rares, foils, and special treatments. So big difference here is instead of 15 cards, you're getting 6 Magic the Gathering cards plus 1 foil token per pack for a total of, I guess, 7 cards if you count the token. 4 cards of rarity rare or higher in every pack, and then 5 to 6 foils in every pack. So there's probably going to be some sort of art treatment in there that doesn't get a foil treatment or something like that. Rebuild the multiverse while building up your collection to this conclusion to March of the Machine storyline.
Yeah.
So this is
they want to press the reset button,
about.
bro.
Yeah, they want to get away from, I guess, Phyrexia anything. But for people that opened collector boosters, and I'm just going to say this about my collector booster opening experience. When my commons and uncommons come out of the pack kind of curled, and it really does truly vary from set to set. Some sets they're fine and some sets they aren't, and it sucks. When those commons and uncommons come out of the pack, I don't care about pretty much 9 out of 10 cards out of those. They just go into a bulk pile, and a lot of them aren't even playable because they're foil. So for anybody who just wants to skip the experience of having a bunch of bulk foils sitting around that aren't worth anything more than the regular version of the card, this seems like a product that cuts down on the waste, which you may be like, no, give me more cards. And I understand that too. But for me, this works. I don't really see any big loss here in having fewer cards that I need to keep up with. Yeah, price for this is right around $238 on Amazon that we see right now. But I think part of that probably has to do with hype. It's further out, and so you have people that are speculating on it maybe. I don't know. What do you think about this product, Joel? What are your thoughts?
Like I said, what I've learned about this product so far is what you've said to me tonight.
Oh, tonight.
So
okay.
I have
that
no
kind of
clue
speaks
about
to
any
just
of this.
the volume of product that comes out.
For sure.
We didn't even hear about Aftermath today.
Right. Obviously it's another set.
Over it.
There is so much to explore with this set. I really try to slow it down, dig in, build some commanders, even if I'm not going to play them. That's why I've loved the build and play series on our live streams. Really try to explore the set. We'll do foil quest with this one probably. I think this would probably generally be a good, fun foil quest to do because there's a lot of options, lots of different treatments that people can go for. The serialized backdrop.
We could probably wait and combine Aftermath with it too if anybody wants to have a lore-filled opening experience. Open the regular set and then a box of Aftermath as well. But I do like all the treatments. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a blast to open. We'll go ahead and shout out Rip and Ship at Moonshot because I know they're going to be opening a ton of this product, and you're going to get to see a lot of these fun treatments get opened over there too.
Kirby.
But we've talked a lot about this. I probably will be picking up a box of this set. It seems like a fun one. Let's see. We'll go ahead and while Joel's gone, we're going to get a poll going.
Look at this, chat. I'm going to go to 2 hits. You saw the Captain Lannery Storm there. The sweet Ixalan treatment. What I've been doing is picking up legends for my Dahada deck, and I try to get them in the showcase frame in foil of whatever plane they came from. Magda, looking hot. And when I went to order Captain Lannery, we didn't have the Ixalan frame, obviously, right? So I was just like, all right, I'll just grab a foil of her. And now we've got, like, seriously, the week after I ordered it. Does that happen to anybody else? The week after I order it, we get the announcement of a special Ixalan frame for Captain Lannery Storm.
Great, cool, thanks.
Also ordered, I'm solidifying this deck. I built this deck for League last year, but it's going to become one of my main decks. Raphael Fiendish Savior. One of the few in that treatment from D&D that I really liked the treatment of. The demon in front of the gold looks really good.
Oh, I like that.
I think it's pretty cool. Ben's like a mug. Ben's like a mug though.
Quantum says we need a stream monarch. All hail Quantum Mechanic, the stream monarch.
All hail. All hail the stream monarch.
Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat, Quantum. Good man.
I do think I'll be probably. I did put a poll up there if anyone wants. March of the Machine. 3 options. I'm cracking a box to get lucky. 6% are saying a pass for me, and singles as usual at 35%. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with a box on this one just because I think it would be a fun time. And there's a few different commanders that I will target as singles as the market starts to flood with this stuff. I think it's gonna be a set that's really fun. It's a set that I'm oddly more excited for than some recent Masters sets that have come out, which is kind of cool.
I think it's all the different treatments and all the different reprints with these legendaries in here. I mean, it's a set that speaks to Commander players in a big way. Anybody who's had a Niv Mizzet Reborn deck wants to go get that Ravnica treatment. And any of these that are in the 99 or any of your decks, now I'm like, oh hell yeah. Especially, it's just so weird that with this Multiversal Legends thing, with that coming out, you know, I've got my Urza deck that is all retro, and so that's kind of the gimmick of what I look for that one. What I wanted for the Dahada deck, which was my favorite deck from last year, was Legends in their home showcase treatment foil. And foil out the whole deck. Where available, you know, like like Precon commanders that I want to run in the deck because they're Legends, you know, those don't have the showcase treatment, etc. But if they do exist, I get it. And so, I mean, this one just in a huge way speaks to me. Yeah. At some point, we're going to get to build the serialized deck where every card is serialized. Actually, we're probably not that far from it. I think that we've had a pretty big surge. Pretty big surge in the whole thing. I am actually really excited to build Etali. BuzzFuzz says, Jake, when are we building Etali together? I mean, we're about to build it right now. This is one that I'm really excited to build, and it's because it's such a powerful card to have as a commander. It has the win condition on the back. If you can transform it and protect it, you can just smack in and kill people with this thing. It doesn't matter their life total. We'll start this as a whole segment. Let me put some bottom corners here. Do you want to go grab a drink or use the bathroom or anything? Quick bio and leg stretch. Now's the time. Chat. Yeah, sure. I'll just are you stretching? Have you stood? Everybody stretch. Right, make sure you got some water. Here we go. Drink some water. Stand up. Roll your neck. Drop your shoulders. We're about to build a commander deck. Drop your shoulders. Tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Deep breath in. Let it come out. Little neck roll. Nice tequila. Good time for that. Quantum standing at the sit-stand desk. Nice. Quantum, we got stuff to talk about. My body is ready. Collecting March of the Machine. Mr. Potter, where is your set within a set? Nice. Do I think battles will be a thing? You're gonna have to clarify. Not enough information to answer this question.
Oh, I should have been able to tell by your demeanor.
Do I think do I think battles will be a thing in Commander? Probably not. Do I think there'll be a thing in Constructed? Probably. They want to at least make one pushed one, right? So it's sure to make it into Standard and hope they don't overshoot and make a legacy staple that's got to be banned. We shall see. Yeah, Liberty, I'm actually into... I'm into going back to Eldraine at this point. Get us off the multiverse and get us off all the planeswalkers we know. Bring back my boy Garrick. Garrick was just like, I don't want to get involved with all this. I'm gonna stay in the woods. Garrick is going to be unretired, I bet. Mark it. Mark it. We are going to Eldraine after all this crazy business, specifically so that we can do a relax, and specifically so that we can do
I will later.
a different thing than we've been doing. Last time we went to Eldraine, it was sort of a reset set. It was sort of a just chill, relax. We're done with the big old story. We're going to Christmas World, and we're gonna let Oko tickle us. And now we're going back right after all this crazy Phyrexian, everything is changed forever crap happens. Hopefully it's gonna be a nice little reset on the entire mood here, and just chill us out for a second. David, I don't know. Eldraine was very pushed. I think they were worried coming off a big set that it wasn't going to sell, so they were like, let's just make legacy staples.
Remember that Eldraine came out right after Ultimate.
Wasn't it right after War of the Spark, lore-wise?
I
can't remember the order.
Yeah, I mean, it was after War of the Spark for sure.
I think all that happened in the summer, and then Eldraine was like a chill.
Eldraine was the first time that we had a collector product, and they even had a collector box, and then they had a deluxe collector box that was the most laughable product that could exist, and they never did it again because they were so ashamed of it. They were so ashamed.
But Jake, it had insert art minis.
I know, right? It had insert art minis.
All right. There is a new commander for March of the Machine that has been stomping its way into our hearts, and that is Etali, Primal Conqueror.
David, 100% Voltron ramp, baby. This card is awesome. 2 red, 5 other, 7/7, trample, legendary creature, elder dinosaur. When Etali Primal Conqueror enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. So, dude, it's this is another reason why I think it's just so sexy. It's like a freaking Chaos Wand.
Right. You're always going to hit something. You're always going to get value. It's always going to hit something. Well,
so you just ramp to this big Gruul dude, and you don't really even need that many other creatures in your deck.
That's such a you thing to say. Any number is it. mostly irrelevant here because it's one from each player, right? Each player exiles until they exile a non-land card. And so you're going to get 4
creatures
hits
from them
if there are still 3 opponents left in the game, because it includes yourself. It's just so strong. It's a lot of value.
You're going to get to cast stuff that's outside of your color wheel, depending on who you're playing with.
Right.
So you're going to have a toolbox here with Etali, and you just have to ramp.
You're going to get a lot of value because you can't count on anything, right? But you're going to get a...
No, true.
This is an absolute value madhouse.
Yeah, it's a value engine. So for me, like, my first thing that I would do after we put a whole boatload of ramp in this is we need stuff that can protect it, because it is high cost. We are going to want to make sure that when we do cast this, we're able to protect it for at least a round until we can transform it and make it indestructible.
9 mana and a Phyrexian symbol, or 10 total, with a green. Transform Etali at sorcery speed into Etali Primal Sickness. Trampling indestructible 11/11. Whenever Etali Primal Sickness deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. And a player with 10 or more poison counters, if you'll remember, loses the game.
Fire Shrieker, anybody?
So at this point, we've got indestructible, right?
Oh, baby.
Hexproof at this point is probably still relevant. But what you're saying is, and what I like about your idea of how to build this, is we got to protect it until we can flip it, and then at least we get a little bit of a breather, because indestructible is going to protect our, what is at that point a 17 mana investment,
right?
Or
right.
16
it is a
and
massive,
2 life.
massive investment.
It's insane.
Magic Historian, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, dude, it's massive, but it's so fun and it's so easy to build, in my opinion. It's like you want to just go tons of ramp, because just get to it.
So that's what we're gonna do. Jajam Community, Phyrexian, Etali.
You're getting 3 other spells.
Right.
Or no, it's each player, right? So it's you.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's you and 3 others. So as soon as you cast this for 7 mana, you're getting a 7/7 with trample and 4 things to do or not do from your opponents. Pretty wild. And then you do want we're gonna want Rogue's Passage. We're gonna want haste. Haste is gonna be a big deal, because if you cast this and it enters the battlefield and you hit a bunch of big creatures off your opponents, having haste on something like Rhythm of the Wild or something like that is going to be really good.
All of that for a drop of blood. The card is not correctly set up currently on Scryfall and Moxfield to have a green color identity.
No, what?
And so our ability to build this tonight is 0.
No, we could just pick a red-green commander and then just have it as a placeholder for Etali.
We'll leave Etali out. Okay.
Yeah, we just leave Etali up, and then when we go through and we'll cut this segment out, we could just superimpose a card over.
What's the worst red-green commander? What's a red-green commander that nobody ever builds? Well, I want to throw off EDH Rex number analysis by 0.000001%.
Kibo.
What is
Stang?
Kibo?
Yeah, Stang is good.
Oh, that's the monkey. Stang. That's a good one. There we go.
All right.
6 mana 3/4 ETBs create a legendary 3/4 named Stang Twin.
All right, so this is for anybody just joining. We are not building Stang. We are building the new Etali that was spoiled for March of the Machine. So if anybody's like, why are they doing this?
As a cut here, I'll say. All right, so we have put Stang as the commander only as a placeholder for Etali Primal Conqueror, because Etali does have green in its color identity, but currently that's not showing up on Moxfield because the thing was fully announced today is when we're building this. So just know that Stang is a placeholder for Etali and Primal Sickness. Oh man, this one's going to be fun. All right, so here we go. let's first, as we're doing it, I want to make sure that we've got our lands correct. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop in the shocks, the pains, the filters. We'll go back and cut pains and stuff as we don't want them. Filter, pain, dual, crowd.
Every fetch
checks,
with green and red in it is probably going to be a good inclusion.
Yeah, let's just start here. We'll go ahead and, in the interest of not getting caught a ton on lands, it's a big ramp deck where we're going to be pulling a lot of lands onto the battlefield as much. So I say we run 38 here.
Yeah, and we might even want to go a small mana rock package as well. You know, I mean, it is very high cost. So you know, having obviously Soul Ring, but maybe Ancient Tomb as a land,
right.
Arcane Signet, maybe a Thran Dynamo, that kind of stuff, just because it is so expensive.
Right. We've got our lands 38. Let's just, we'll go ahead and drop Soul Ring in there. Why not? Let's drop Signet in there. Gruul Signet, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and then probably, I mean, I don't want to go over the top, but Jeweled Lotus seems like it does kind of belong in this deck, right?
Jeweled Lotus is going to be cheating it out early. I mean, Jeweled Lotus could lead to a insane, like turn 4 Etali that hits all the premium shit off the top of libraries, and you just win because of it. So let's
decide as a group now, are we building this with any sort of budget in mind, or are we just picking, regardless of price, the exact cards to make it do what we want to do? Or are we going to try and, like, let's not play X? You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think so much of the deck is going to come in budget that I think we just build it how we would want to build it, and then if there's anything that's stupid overpriced, maybe we try to find an alternative to it.
A replacement. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Tendo has it right. Says no, we go for efficiency. It's a 7 mana cost. Exactly. That's what you have to do. Maybe we could skip duels. We could probably do it without duels.
Yeah, let's just
don't probably don't need the Taiga.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, just no OG duels. Exactly.
All right, so just in the interest... Oh yeah, Great Henge is a must. So just in the interest of getting us going here on the ramp package, I searched up with Scryfall's searchability, which if you've seen my video, based on keywords, and you can do that through Moxfield, which is why we like Moxfield so much. That in the UI is just spectacular. Search forest onto battlefield. I'm looking for that in the Oracle text. I don't want to do any creatures right now that have it, and I don't want to do any lands right now that have it. And we're going to sort by CMC. So Nature's Lore seems like a yes. 3 Visits seems like a yes. Field Trip seems like a no. Do you like Nissa's Pilgrimage in here? 3 to get 2 basic forests. 1 on the battlefield, rest in your hand, then shuffle. Or we at least have Spell Mastery, so you go get 3 basic forests.
It's not a bad card. I think it's fine.
I really prefer, I think, cards like Ranger's Path. If we're good, before we look at cards, because that's like Cultivate, we could go get the Mountain if we needed to. But Ranger's Path and Skyshroud Claim that are going to ramp us 2 forests at 4. I actually think this is the kind of deck that wants effects like that, because we have to get so much land.
Yeah, we just need to get to Etali because it's like get there to stabilize is kind of like how I feel. Why don't we go ahead and put in Ancient Tomb? We know that we're going to want that.
Yep.
And I want to get these in there just because
let's go. Rapid fire,
these
baby.
were some
Ready.
Yeah. Sylvan Library, Sensei's Top.
It seems like a weird one for Sensei's, but we'll allow it.
Yeah, we could cut it later if we need to. Teamer Sabertooth.
Hang on, please. 2 seconds. Teamer Sabertooth is did I spell it wrong? Oh, they don't spell it. Okay, got it. Sabertooth's a good one.
Yeah. And then these ones here, Shout out to D Hammer for those ones. Those were all worth adding, and I didn't want to lose those. And then LP had a couple here too that were, and these are more to protect, and then we can start building the sections. Steely Resolve is a good one.
Tamio's Blessing.
And then there's Asceticism, Heroic Intervention.
It's funny, Asceticism has become one that I cut for the instant speed stuff.
Yeah.
You think Grim in this one?
Which one?
Oh, it's got to be Swiftfoot. No, we want Lightning Greaves in this. Maybe both. But see, the thing is
we'll
like
want Swiftfoot, Boots, and Lightning Greaves probably.
We don't care about the haste because there's no attack trigger on our fella. On our lady here. Etali's got to be female, right? Enters the battlefield. Each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. We don't care about that. I mean, attacking with this side, irrelevant. We want to attack with this side. And so what we want to do is get it onto the battlefield. Etali's a boy. We get it onto the battlefield. We get the initial trigger. I think any way to blink this, let me do a quick search. Exile, return, target. We'll just see what that comes up with. Chat, what are my options for blink in red and green? Obviously, Conjurer's Closet. If we have this down before Etali, we get 2 triggers of Etali if it goes unanswered on the same turn, and it curves because our curve tops at 1 billion. So we are completely fine. I mean, honestly, Jake, Fable of the Mirror Breaker turns into Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Oh, it's another target non-legendary creature. There you go. I've only watched people play this in standard. Nissa, no.
Did you get Heroic in there?
Not yet. Heroic is a good one.
Yeah, Heroic Intervention, and then the other one that I had here that I wanted to get in was Protect the Castle. I wanted to at least look at that one.
Protect the Castle?
Yeah, I think it's a green enchantment.
No card found by that name. Great Hinge, by the way. What's it called? Let's try Protect. Nope. Protect Castle. Nope.
Why? What is that card?
Protect. It's going to be like defend.
What is Protect the Castle? Why did I think that was a card?
Jake's dreaming in cards again. What is it? Sylvan Safekeeping? Sylvan Safekeeper? That's a must in this one, right? Sack a land, target you control, gain Shroud. Hell yeah, dude.
Treasonous Ogre is probably good in here too, because we can pay life to just get Etali out. It's not a bad.
Pay 3 life, add red. Oh, dude, yes. All in Etali, baby. Hell yeah, dude. I'm immediately. What is it? What is it to cast? 5, 6, 7. So we got to pay 21 life. Am I doing that math wrong? Yes. 3 times 7 is 21. No, I'm not.
This deck also wants Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear sounds like it's going to end up getting cut. I understand the thought, but let's put it in there for now. We're not even near cuts. I saw Rhythm of the Wild. That's such a good call. This one does double duty for us because creature spells you control can't be countered. What other cards like Tamio's Safekeeping, Heroic Intervention? Let's just say Gains, Indestructible.
This is going to be like, I mean, this deck probably wants Veil of Summer.
Plaza of Heroes, dude. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn for 3 on a land. Yeah.
100% a deck for Plaza of Heroes.
Put a +1/+1 on a creature. It gains reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible until end of turn for 2 mana.
That is exactly what you want.
Yep. That's what we got to have here. Oh, Tyvar Stand, you can do it for 1. Hexproof and indestructible for 1 mana, and if we want, you can pump it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I wonder I wonder, Joel, if this deck wants a couple effects like Awakening Zone. And the reason I say this is because anybody who has a Blossoming Defense, I love that one too.
Well, think I see where you're going with this, but think instead of mana rocks, what if we go heavy mana dorks? That way it pulls double duty. It ramps us and provides sacrifice options for when somebody gets down Chainer's Edict against us or something silly.
Well, keep in mind this as well. We could probably do both. And the reason is because the deck doesn't really need any sort of big creatures to do any sort of like we don't need a Avenger of Zendikar in this deck. We don't need any of like the big usual stompy creatures. We really
should try and find a
sure
secondary win con. Going all in, I get it, and we can build it as strongly in that direction as we can, especially with the amount of like protection spells that we're putting in this. But if an exile sneaks through or a board wipe sneaks through at the wrong time, it's interesting. I prefer like Ranger's Guile. We'll put that in there. We're probably going to end up cutting those effects down a little bit, but let's Awakening Zone. What other kind of passive red green token creation? I like Awakening Zone because it's basically it's both of what we want, because these can be sacrificed for colorless mana.
Yeah, and then you might even want to do, what's the you type in From Beyond, that might be the right one. Yeah, Gaming Bob, you're probably right. Helm of the Host is probably worth running in here.
From Beyond is create a 1/1 Scion that has sack. Yeah. Yep. I'm fine with that. 100%.
And then, I mean, you could because of that card, you could just run one or two big Eldrazi in here. I mean, if it's a deck that's like ramp to Etali and then there's just a couple other Eldrazi hanging out, it's probably not a negative. If it's like maybe a Kozilek or maybe the Ulamog, the 10 cost from Battle for Zendikar.
Right.
And Blightsteel would make sense to have Blightsteel in here since it's essentially Etali's buddy.
Right. Eli, there shouldn't be any problem with the audio. I'm hearing what you're hearing, so if you got a problem with your audio, you might want to check your headphones or reset the stream or something.
Will you check for just a second? Will you check I'm looking Veil of Summer?
Yeah, Veil of Summer is an absolute include. I'm looking for BuzzFuzz submissions, and I'm strangely silent, or I'm just missing them. This was one that I'm pretty sure he had already built. Blightsteel as our lieutenant commander in the deck is kind of funny too. On top of the Eldrazi. Oh, this is definitely a deck for okay, let's look at type equipment. And Sword EDH rec rank. Hexproof on Swiftfoot's just too good to pass up. +1/+1 trample and lifelink. Oh, we're already looking at that one. Commander's Plate. +3/+3 and protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. Equip commander for 3. So we get protection from blue, black, white, which sounds awesome.
You know what else seems good is Darksteel Plate in this. I know that always sounds like a meme.
No fucking comment. We'll put it
in. Do you not like it?
I don't like that card in general. So it's hard to make me like it in any circumstance. But
yeah,
it can help win. I put Helm of the Host in there. I do think that one's a fun one. It's one like Shadow Spear for me where I'm like, it seems unnecessary to what we're trying to do, because what we're trying to do is, and Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, but the game plan is ramp to Etali, try in our very limited ways to either blink or copy Etali's ETB.
Yes.
Protect Etali, rule number 1, until we can transform Etali and swing players down through also protecting Etali on the second side, even though we've got Indestructible to help us out. So,
right.
If that's the game plan, Cards like giving our guy lifelink seems unnecessary. Helm of the Host, it is one of our limited ways of copying, but 9 mana on top of our 8 mana. Is that right? 5, 6, 7 mana Etali, and then 9 or 10 to transform it. That's a lot.
You know what? I am seeing some people say Hearth and Home, and I do like that because it's the best sword that gives pro white, and pro white is going to be white is going to be one of the things that is going to hurt Etali the most. Yep, for sure.
Exile is the one thing that I'm kind of the most afraid of with this deck.
Yeah,
and so I don't hate that idea at all. Yeah, Hammer of Nizan is always it. That's one that I actually prefer to, what's it called? Darksteel Plate, because if we can get this down on turn 4. No, I'm thinking of it backwards. You play this for 4 and then it comes on. Actually, Hammer's not good for this deck. I would prefer Darksteel for this because you only have to pay 2 more to make it indestructible on the front side. And the problem with this, but see, I mean, the problem with both of these strategies and the problem with equipment in general is that we want to Conjurer's Closet this thing in our perfect world. And so it's like we pay the 2 to make it indestructible, but then when we Conjurer's Closet, that ain't a thing anymore. And it's getting removed anyway. So that's why I'm definitely not, I don't want that one in here, but that's my argument against any really equipment that doesn't have a super low equip cost. Like even Commander's Plate. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean Darksteel Plate at 2 is not that bad in a deck that's very mana heavy. We just want to make sure that, because I mean once Etali gets removed a couple times, we might not get it back on the field. So like all of the stuff that is like clearly we need Lightning Greaves, all of that, but the stuff that's Blossoming Defense, giving it hexproof until end of turn, this is all going to be the most important stuff. So we could even add maybe 1 or 2 more effects like this and then just go even heavier on ramp, make sure that lands are there. We could include a couple more mana rocks. I don't know, what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I feel like we got a couple of other key demographics to sort of fill out here.
Yeah, we need like our own removal.
Exactly. Before we start adding, like these are 8 basically identical effects. And 8 is a pretty good package. Because you don't want to see, like, if we're having to give this thing hexproof more than once or twice or 3 times... we have crossed a threshold of like we're hopefully doing so well that it's taking that many removal spells to get through us. Search library, land onto
in chat. Yeah, we're going to be able to put a lot of good lands in the deck as well because it's only red green. So we're going to be able to put some good utility lands in there that give us some effects on lands as well. Yeah. We will want stuff like Command Beacon.
Yep. Yeah, we'll go back and make sure we got all the utility lands in there. How's the sort of Hearth and Home a problem? Let's see. Rampant growth.
Cultivate.
Farseek. I think these will end up getting cut, but we should absolutely put them in there right now. Harrow, crop rotation. Do we need any specific land?
So you wait, why don't you like cards like Kodama's Reach and Cultivate?
I like them. I like them fine. I didn't say I didn't like them.
You do.
I didn't say I didn't like them.
You said you would end up cutting them.
Yeah, very possibly. We have a ton of like Sakura Tribe Elder. I would run over either of them because it sits itself in a couple of our different needs right now, right? Other sacrifice outlets, early ramp. I don't think there's any need for crop rotation or spring bloom druid in this. Well, crop rotation in particular, because we're not like going hard. Oh, that is a good note, MTG Gaming Bob. We're not going hard on one specific land. But like explosive vegetation, migration path, those big ones that go and get 2 right onto the battlefield.
Right, but
Love
that costs more than cultivate, right?
Yes, it does. 4. But they go right onto the battlefield. And so next turn we're on 7. So if we cast this on curve and we haven't dropped any extra lands, we're on 7 on turn 4, on turn 5. And Etali's ready to come out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so these effects bridge that final gap and get us ready to cast him next turn. I don't know how many of those we want. 3 feels like too many, but it's potential. Okay, so Gaming Bob brought up a good point. Sword of Hearth and Home. Let me go back again. Sword of Hearth and Home is a non-bow with all 8 of our, and potentially the more that we add, hexproof cards. Sword of Hearth and Home
is true.
Will fall right off. So I don't think that this is doing for us what we want it to do.
Well, it will fall off, but it can always go right back on, right? It would fall off,
Sure.
but then for 2 mana, it just goes back on. That's like,
what about removal
if it's
package?
already, or is it if it's already on? If it's already on, then it's just gonna, it's not gonna be able to.
Can't fizzles.
It just fizzles. The sword won't fall off. Yeah.
So leave it or don't leave it.
I mean, we
Let's see what
could
we
cut
got
it.
here.
If it doesn't have anything to equip it to, you can't unequip it. So yes, it would just sit on Etali and you wouldn't be able to protect it. But here's the thing. Is Etali at that point has pro white and indestructible, right?
Correct.
Or not necessarily.
Not necessarily
but
indestructible.
it would have pro white, trample, and indestructible. So it's like they would be having a hard time figuring out how to remove it, even if we, essentially they would need a board wipe, and then we wouldn't be able to use something like a targeted removal on it. Heroic intervention would still be fine.
I'm just putting a starter basic removal package in here so we can get up to our numbers and see how far we are off. See, so we've got the best land ramp.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the best protection. We've got the best removal in Vandal Blast, Decimate at sorcery speed. We got Nature's Claim. We got Return to Nature. We got Force of Vigor. I said I was only searching Destroy. Blasphemous.
Yeah, and then Deflecting Swat is probably good too.
Yeah, for sure in this deck. It even has a dinosaur in the art.
It does have a dinosaur in the art, yeah.
Hell yes.
And do we have Chaos Warp in?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I added it. I clicked add, it did not add. Good eyes.
Did not, yeah. Yeah, Bolt Bend is an option from what's it called? For the Spark.
Oh my god, yes. First creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less.
Yeah, that's pretty much amazing.
5 mana for front side Etali. Hell yes. Any other cost reducers like that?
We should run the dinosaur guy who makes dinos cost 2 less.
Oh my god, dude. I didn't even think about fucking Oracle searching dinosaur on the text.
You're really not going to have a lot of cards that you need to add from here. Just really like the Forerunner, or not Forerunner.
Not Forerunner, that's not the one. Dinosaur
the Hunt
spells.
Master. And
Night
there's a
of the
red one too,
Stampede.
isn't there?
Yeah, I think there is. There it is. Otep Peck Huntmaster.
Ooh, and it even gives haste to something, which is kind of cool.
Yep. What about a 2/2 for 2 that when it attacks, if you control a dinosaur, it's a 3/3. So we can have a 3/3 attacker once we got Etali on the battlefield?
Yeah, add it.
That's probably, dude, that's going in.
Easy add.
Easy add. Creature spells cost 1 less to cast seems relevant to me. That makes this a 6 cost. Let me see.
Yeah, it's all right.
Creature. We need really 2. Creature cost less. Can't we do like Urza's Incubator? Sort EDH Rec. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Corey. It could just be a mana dork in that case. Herald's Horn. Nope. We already know that one. No. Urza's Incubator. Paying 3 mana and choosing Dinosaur, that doesn't seem like the absolute silliest idea I've ever heard with this deck.
No, it's very good. It's very good. It's just, artifacts and enchantments are definitely worth running if they're cost reducers. I feel less good about them when they're creatures that do cost reduction because they just get killed. But like Goreclaw is really good, for example.
I was thinking that Goreclaw actually seems like a pretty relevant card in this.
And
Red
then,
gives haste? No, it's a loot ability. God, dude, if Hazard's Monument reduced it by 1 and gave it haste, I'm all in. No, the monuments don't really matter a ton here. Nylea,
do we care about double strike?
I think so.
So should we be running like Fire Shrieker?
Okay, so once we get to this point,
see, here's the problem with this side.
Do we need to go harder?
I think that having maybe 1 or 2 equipment that give double strike could be really good, because if they have any kind of blockers, they might be able to prevent you from killing them. But once you swing with this, if it has double strike on it, it's going to have that nice first 11 that comes through as first strike. That's a huge smack, and then enough damage trample over to make sure that it's a killing blow, you know?
Yeah.
I think having like at least 2 double strike.
Okay, then chat. What are the 2 best
Fire Shrieker
ways to give this the cheapest way we can? I'm gonna hang on. I want to just scroll down a little bit further on this.
Sure. And
make sure that there's no other reducers that are staring us in the face that have to be run. Legendary spells cost 1 green, 1 red less. No.
Matt is saying Reaver Cleaver and Ember Cleave. That's what I'm seeing, chat. And I see BuzzFuzz saying Twinferno. Yeah, Teamer Battle Rage is okay, but it's just a one-time effect.
Yeah, if we're gonna grab this kind of thing, we really want it to be on an equipment, most likely. All right. Okay, I'm comfortable with that now. Lizard Blades? It's 4 mana to get them on to something.
Ember Cleave has the whole package of flash and stuff, but I don't like that the equip is 3.
Well, and we'd be paying 5 at instant speed if Etali's the only thing attacking.
Yeah. That's why I don't hate Fire Shrieker, even though all it does is just straight up double strike. It's only 2 to equip.
So Brass Knuckles, you pay 4. It enters with a token copy of itself and says it has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. So it's 4 and then 2. But that's basically just Fire Shrieker with more steps. Because Fire Shrieker's 3 and 2 and doesn't bring in a token that's very fragile.
I don't hate lizard blades. It's just 2 for an equipment.
It fills multiple roles again too, because it lets us get around sacrifice if that's where we want to be.
Yeah, lizard blades is essentially Fire Shrieker. It's just a cheaper on the,
because it's a little bit more fragile, right?
Yeah. But yeah, you have to reconfigure it. There is a red enchantment that gives... No, there isn't. No, I don't think that.
Embercleave does auto equip, but again, it's 5 mana. I guess we get instant speed because Fire Shrieker's 5 mana to get it on there.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. We'll just go Embercleave. Let's see where we're at. We're at 104, so we're already in cut territory, and we're not sure we've covered all our bases. Chat, you're sitting there and you're going, how have they not even thought about running this type of card in this type of deck? What is it? What are we forgetting?
Haze of Rage. Will you type that? Here,
sure.
I can type stuff in too.
And I'm talking like archetypes of cards. Oh, this isn't what we want to do here.
Buyback to no Haze of Rage. I don't think so.
Ooh, card draw. Holy shit, we don't have any card draw in here.
Oh,
David, does Myriad work with Legendary? I'd have to look it up.
No, we do have Sylvan. We have Sylvan Library, which is some card draw.
Okay, we got 1 card.
There's no, there's something else that has card draw, I'm pretty sure. But no, it's not a lot. We could probably
Great Henge. But the thing is like,
I don't think we need Great Henge.
I was gonna say we're not running enough creatures to take advantage of this.
Yeah, I don't think we need it. It's very good and we still get value from it, but I don't think we need it.
4 mana enchantment at the beginning of combat on your turn. Target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn.
That honestly is fine.
That's not bad.
That's fine.
I don't mind it.
Because it's just a passive thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's go through each section and see.
Let me see what we got. Draw. Card. Sort. 88 trek in these colors. Rocks. Nothing repeatable.
We already have top in. Top is good.
War Room. That's at least an extra card to draw. I mean, and like, I think we just run Harmonize in this deck because all of this stuff is contingent on us having creatures on the battlefield. Skull Clamp, Return, Uprising, Beast Whisperer, Shamanic.
Faithless isn't bad either. Faithless is 4 cards. That's not bad.
It doesn't net us any cards though. If it
no, it doesn't. But it nets velocity. You could just run Wheel of Fortune.
Sad Robot's not a bad call in this. I saw you LP on extra combats. I think Valakut is actually a good play here because it's not really contingent on anything. And it's a land that can be something else. We're not creating a lot of tokens. I mean, are wheel effects that bad in here? Wheel effects might be good in here. Creature power 4 or greater, we can draw cards, but if we've got him on the battlefield, we need... Actually, it's one of those things where it's like, we only run 2 colors in this deck, and so... The one time we can use Bonder's Enclave, it'll be worth it.
We can run that, yeah.
Like, what do you think if each player draws a card?
I like that less.
Because I mean, we're just trying to get to Etali as quickly as possible and keep those protections in our hand. I think Sad Robot's actually decent for this deck. It's another ramp on turn 4. Replaces itself as a sack effect when we need it to.
I don't hate Bankbuster Reckoner. It creates treasure as well.
Let's read Reckoner Bankbuster and see about it in this deck. Enters the battlefield with 3 charges. Pay 2, remove a charge counter, draw a card. Then if there are no charges on it, create a treasure token and a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this creature cruise vehicles as though its power were 2 greater.
Yeah, so it just becomes this like mana rock that at first draws you cards and then makes dudes and treasure. Kind of helps with the sacrifice thing. It's not bad. It's not a bad card.
No, it's definitely not a bad card. I wonder about it in EDH. Because, like, this is 2, 4, 6, 8 mana, draw 3. Versus Harmonize, which is 4 mana, draw 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, I think I've seen this card kick ass in, like, Standard, right? And Historic. And I'm wondering if my bias for it is...
You can cut it.
I've seen it so much.
You can cut it.
Well, we got to get to cuts anyway. We're at 108 here. Let's check our lands real fast.
I think we can cut Veil of Summer. It's kind of specific.
Veil is gone. Jessica's, everybody keeps saying Jessica's will. It's just like an auto include red card. It's so boring, y'all. But it's really good. And honestly, some Exile the top 3 actually might be Exile the top. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Advanced Search. We're going to go Oracle Text, Exile the top card of your library. We're going to search that phrase. And we're going to order them in EDH Rec Rank.
Yeah, Scroll Rack is good.
That is a fair point. 80% of the deck is already boring auto includes. That is a fair point. Jessica's Will is the top to do that. That doesn't really work for us here because we've got the lack of creatures. Beginning of your upkeep, do it for 4 mana. Torch of Defiance is an interesting play here because you're exiling a card that you can cast and it's dealing 2 damage if you don't. It's ramping 2 mana.
Yeah, it just dies. It dies. You're gonna play it for 4, and by the time it gets back to you, you're never gonna get to use any of its abilities again.
Enchantments don't die.
Oh, come on. We all know that planeswalkers just die.
Oh, I know. I'm not arguing for Chandra. I'm arguing against it dies. I don't think I'm trying not to. March of Reckless Joy is actually interesting in this deck because it's instant speed. We're ramping a ton of mana to pump into that X. And, you know, just EOT, if we're up with one of our protection spells or whatever, we don't have to use it. Exile the top X, just dump 5 mana into this. You got 4 options and you can play 2 of them.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Seems like a decent draw in a big mana deck. Bard class. I looked at that a couple of times. I didn't think I connected with it here. Legendary enter with a +1/+1 counter. Wow. Legendary spells you cast cost. And see, that's the thing. It only reduces basically 1. Because it doesn't reduce anything on the front because there's no green symbols. And that green can't go toward the 5 here because it says effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. And then whenever you cast a legendary spell, exile the top 2. That's great, but I can do that for 3 mana with Light Up the Stage versus 2 for 9.
What does Bronze Dragon do? Is it an ETB, create a bunch of treasure?
Bronze Dragon? No, Bronze Dragon is combat, create a bunch of treasure. Combat, create a bunch of treasure. No, counters. You're thinking of what's the red one? Copper.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Deals combat damage. Get treasure.
Okay. So it has to be eat damage. Okay. I mean it's not bad, but we probably don't need it.
Yeah, we've got Dockside.
Yeah. I guess let's go back to making some cuts.
Yeah. Let me grab Discord here. We got some submissions into my DMs here.
Jake and Josh, what's up? What's up? I think you mean Drake and Josh.
We'll go back and compare once we're to a stopping point. Okay.
We should do a review of us watching Drake and Josh.
Actually, I was thinking that would be our next channel. Jake and Joel are Drake and Josh.
Jake and Joel are Drake and Josh.
All right, so let's take stock here. Let's take inventory. We're building Etali Primal Conqueror. We want to get the ETB of Etali Primal Conqueror as much as we possibly can, but we really don't want to cast it more than once. Once we do cast it, though, we want to protect the hell out of it. Because we don't really care about attacking with this side of Etali. The very next turn, we'd like to transform Etali, make it indestructible, getting around half of all removal, where we're only worried about exile, targeted, and board wipe exile, which are just like, whatever, you got it, fine. And we kill people with a trampling indestructible 11 poison counters offered creature. Currently, let's go through our cards real fast and see what role they fill in this. Chat, jot down your suggestions, because I'm not going to be looking at chat right now. Jot down your suggestions so that you can, afterward, we'll ask for them. Sylvan Safekeeper protects our creature by sacking a land. We can instant speed that ability. Dockside ramps us. Lizard Blades is our one of our 2 main finishing move cards, for once we have flipped Etali, we make sure that it's getting kills, because it was so difficult to get here. We want to drive the point home. Cost reduction, ramp. We're cutting this. This is a 2/2 that turns into a 3/3 when it attacks if we control a dinosaur.
I think Lizard Blades can actually go too, and I think that it should be a Whisper Silk Cloak. I saw someone in chat say we care about unblockable more, and we are going to run like Rogue's Passage, but I do think Whisper Silk should probably be the move, because we don't really care at all if what our opponent's health total is. As long as Etali gets through, it's going to kill them.
That's a really good point. I love that point. Rogue's Passage and Whisper Silk are going to be our top 2 here.
And Key to the City.
It's potential, and I know that this is one of your cards, so I feel like we need to run it.
It's the Key to the City, baby. And it offers us some velocity, where once we get late game and we do start drawing stuff, we can pitch cards to be different cards. All right, let's keep going.
So we're going to determine double strike at this point. We can go ahead and pre-cut the other one, because Embercleave, in my opinion, was worse than the first plan.
I think Teamer Sabretooth can actually go too. I wasn't going to say that, but no, since people are saying it.
Otepec Huntmaster, reduction. Ramp. Adeline Jackal is ramp. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can search your library for a basic card, put it on the land, put it on the battlefield tapped. You shuffle.
Oh yeah, we could cut that.
Oh, God, I love this card. You are completely undervaluing that card. It's gone. Reclamation Sage. Destruction.
Yep.
Goreclaw, cost reduction. Knight, cost reduction.
Those are big cost reducers. I like those. Yeah.
Solemn, ramp, sack body, replaces itself. Teamer Sabretooth, Return another. If you do, it gains indestructible until end of turn. So we'd be paying 2 mana to just get Etali out of harm's way, is basically what we would be doing here. I think it is cuttable. I'm going to move it to considering. And then Treasonous Ogre's crazy ramp.
Yeah, it's just that card's just like a blowout card where it's like maybe we can do it, maybe we don't.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, I mean, it's an all-in. Like, I don't hate a main plan of ours being using the green tutor to go get Treasonous Ogre and slam Etali as soon as we possibly can, just by burning through our entire love total. Who cares? Vandal Blast is Vandal Blast. Ramp, 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 ramp. Card draw plus ramp, ramp, ramp. Destruction, ramp, 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 ramp. Destruction.
It's a lot of ramp there.
Hexproof. Card draw. Destruction. Hexproof. Hexproof. Hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof and indestructible. Hexproof and indestructible. Destruction. Destruction. Send away. Deflection. Card draw. Destruction.
Out of those, the only one that I would probably cut is like Nature's Claim, even though it's still good.
Still
It's
good.
the only one I'd cut.
Still good. Understatement. Jeweled Lotus. Ramp.
I'm sorry you don't like
Ramp.
my assessment of the card.
Ramp. Ramp. Protection. How do we feel about senseis in this deck? Why are we doing senseis? Just because it's good?
Yeah, I think it's just has to do with rearranging just because it's good. Yeah, I guess it could go.
Shadow Spear. Lifelink. And turns off Hexproof Indestructible on our opponents.
Yeah.
Ramp.
It's just, yeah.
Ramp. Ramp. Unblockable. Protection. 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 Ramp or reduction. Win con, basically.
Yeah.
Get more ETBs, get more ETBs, get more ETBs. Protection.
Control top card. You think cut the top? Dark Steel just gives us indestructible on the front end of the card. It could probably be cut. You would cut Incubator, Matt?
If we listen to chat, we're cutting every card in this deck. Steely Resolve. Wait, no, that's BuzzFuzz. Steely Resolve. Protection. Sylvan Library. Card draw. Ramp plus sack protection. Counter protection plus haste. This is kind of irrelevant. Well, no, it's not irrelevant. This haste just doesn't matter to us, really. We would rather have ramp or protection. So basically with this one, we're paying 3 mana just for creature spells you control can't be countered. And we can probably find that for cheaper. And it's gonna be a cold day in hell before we get 7 mana to cast the front side and have 9 and 2 life left over to flip it and give it haste and go and all in one turn. That ain't happening.
Oh no, that's not happening, but can't be countered is actually pretty good because people were just talking about that's going to be one of the things that makes Etali fragile, is that if it does get countered a couple times, we're going to sit there with nothing to do. So I do think Rhythm, I think there's something there, even though we're not going to be using the Riot.
Cavern,
I mean,
for sure.
obviously we'll have Cavern. There's another card that's just like Cavern as well that we can run.
Like, do we run Autumn's Veil? Do we run Domri? It ramps, makes him uncounterable. Vexing Shusher
like
straight up.
Yeah, Beseiju needs to be in here. No, that's instant or sorcery.
Yeah, it's instant or sorcery.
I actually like the Autumn's Veil. There's a red card, Overmaster, as well, that's similar. It's just red that says
Yeah, I know Overmaster.
you know it, yeah. And it has draw a card on it, which isn't. Oh no, it's instant or sorcery. Never mind. I thought it was the next spell you cast this turn. Yeah, Vexing Shusher is good. It's fine. Yeah, plate can probably go.
Darksteel Plate. I feel like it's such a.
It's really not that bad a card because it does protect the front side before we can flip it for the redundancy. But I mean, if we're looking for cuts, how many cards do we have that we still need to cut?
We have 105 in the deck currently.
Yeah, so it can probably go. The most important thing is that we're able to cast Etali and then protect it until the next turn. If we don't have, you know, the mana to equip it.
Yeah.
I also think that Helm can probably go, even though it's really good.
I think I'm with you on that. At this point, we're cutting possibilities, so I'm moving them to considering instead of straight up murdering them.
Yeah. Like Panharmonicon. I mean, the Conjurer's Closet, if Etali is flipped, it's just going to flip it back to the front side, right? So we don't get any sort of value out of the backside of Etali.
Right. Well, there is no value on ETBs on this side. We get this side again. I mean,
so we would just not use the May, right?
The people arguing against Panharmonicon, let me make this argument and then we can discuss it. If we have 3 opponents on the table and we have Panharmonicon on the battlefield and we cast our commander, we're going to get 8 spells for free.
Yeah.
That
Panharmonicon I like more than the Conjurer's Closet, and I don't even hate the Conjurer's Closet. It is a May. We just might not use it sometimes.
That is true. If we do end up, if we're going for a kill, I don't know that we would want to. But again, the turn we play it, it curves into it because our curve top is insane. And so if we get Conjurer's Closet down on turn 5, hopefully we've ramped enough.
It just returns it again. Yeah.
We just get
so that's
8
really good.
Spells for free.
Yeah, so I don't hate Conjurer's Closet. It's just sometimes we won't use it, and that's fine.
Right.
So Shadow Spear I like because of the lifelink. So if we are getting smacked down, we know that we're going to have our big Etali in that all we have to do is equip for 2, only 3 mana to get lifelink on him, which isn't bad. And it has that little extra ability that if they do have something hexproof or something, then we can turn that off. Autumn's Veil. Which one will you go over? Autumn's Veil really quick.
Can't be countered by blue or black spells this turn, and creatures you control can't be the target of blue or black spells this turn.
Yeah, it's just an anti-counter card. Blossoming is fine.
Wait, is Blood Mist still in here? Oh, yeah. This is the one. Yeah, I mean, at this point... Look, I mean, getting 8 free spells versus guaranteeing that this thing wins the game. I don't know. I feel like we're going to need to get into some games with this, and I feel like we'll start feeling, you know, if Blood Mist is irrelevant, if Shadow Spear is irrelevant,
because we might play a game and we're like, holy shit, Blood Mist. It's just like it trampled right over all their stuff, and yeah, it really comes down to playing some games.
This seems like a lot for what it's giving us in this deck. Are we still running Rhythm?
Yeah, I think so.
We need to cut 3 cards. Chat, 3 cards. We can cut 2 lands. We're at 40 on that. So we need to cut 1 card and then we can run this. Chat, does anybody, without us having to explain anything, it's already 11:30, 1 hour. We could get a game in under an hour. That'd be on. We'll try
we wouldn't be able to play Etali, but we'd be able to just ramp it and stuff. Ramped Sting.
Yeah, we won't try and get a game going. Let's look at 1 card to cut.
Can we look at lands one more time?
Yeah, we haven't really done a pass on these yet.
Yeah, so we'll have to do a pass on those because we need Ancient Tomb. We need Ancient Tomb is in there. We need Temple of the False God. It's just a bread and butter.
Yeah. Let's cut one more card. Oh yeah, Temple in there. Let's cut one more card and then we got to do it. We can do a full pass on our utility lands too.
Yeah, you know, you're kind of right on Farseek. That's fine. It's just, yeah, we would just be grabbing a couple mountains.
Or one shock land.
Yeah, we would get a shock land. Yeah.
The best target for Farseek is our shock land. The next best target is the other one that is a mountain forest.
Ooh, Phil, let's
Cinderglade.
go. Kessig Wolf Run. That's right.
I mean,
That's a good one.
We got two targets that give us both colors of mana with our Farseek. And it's a 2 mana piece of ramp.
So Green Castle, Kessig Wolf Run.
Like From Beyond maybe is the one that we cut. 4 mana, kind of dinky, kind of slow. The bottom part is
not a great card.
completely irrelevant to us.
It's not a great card. Yeah, you could cut that one. Let's just cut that and then let's tune the lands up.
Yeah. All right.
So
Kessig Wolf Run has been added.
You know, I also don't hate adding Raging Ravine in here. If someone did, for example, like make a an Innocent Blood after we have Etali, animating a Raging Ravine in order to sacrifice it in response isn't bad.
Boseiju is instant or sorcery. Can't be countered. This one doesn't protect us.
You know, it's not terrible if we're playing against a blue player who we're afraid is going to counter like our 4 mana ramp spells to make sure that we get through on those. Paying 2 life to make sure that that goes off isn't terrible in the right situation, but it can only be used for that. It's not even worth. It's not even. There's no other mana.
Sure, but what spell are you going to protect that has 1 in it? All of our protection is 1 colored pip, with the exception of.
No, I was saying the 4-cost mana ramp spells is what I was talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about countering protection on Etali.
Oh no, I'm talking about like when we tap out sorcery speed to put 2 on the battlefield, being able to ensure that a counter player doesn't say, nope, we're gonna shut that down before, you know, then I can see the card being good. But otherwise, anytime we want to use it, we're gonna have to pay 2 life just to use it as generic mana.
Tendo goes, just tested the deck. Incubator's useless. I want to see your data. That was a lot of play testing to determine the uselessness of a card.
Who said that?
Tendo being a silly Billy. Type land minus type basic sort EDH rec. What are we missing?
Let's take a look.
Command tower. Rogue's Passage, yes. Scry 1's not really where we want to be.
Oh, we should just run all the fetches that have our colors.
Green. Red. Green. Red. Green and red. Oh.
Prismatic isn't terrible.
Vista. Running War Room. Command Beacon.
We have Cavern. Yeah, we have Command Beacon.
Balagad? Balagad's good, right? Yavimaya Hollow, I've seen it. You don't have to caps lock it anymore. I see it.
Yeah, we'll put Yavimaya Hollow.
We'll look at it.
is unclaimed worth it? Is that a can't be countered? No, you were almost at it.
Oh.
There it is.
Spend only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type.
Not worth it. Not worth it. Oh, strip mine is good. We should probably run a couple of those effects. Strip mine and wasteland is always a good thing. We don't have any land destruction in our deck.
If we were going to run one of those, which one do you think we should run? Are they functionally the same? I don't have the other one in front of me.
Yeah, they're essentially the same thing. Do you guys not like these ones, chat? I mean, I've always played like a little bit of land destruction.
That's the kind of builder you are. What's the other one called?
Wasteland.
Jake has a type, and that type is destruction.
I mean, having that for... Do you just not run that kind of stuff? I mean, we could talk about it.
Typically
if you
not.
have a taste for not liking it.
Typically not. Two or more other lands. Yes, this is in there. Gruul Turf I don't think is relevant here. I just don't like the bounce lands either. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, because Etali is only 2 red. So like for me, once we have 2 red on the battlefield, having, filling out the deck with utility lands seems like the way to go.
For sure. Field of Ruin? No, what's the newer one? There's a newer one.
Field is kind of cool because it replaces our land with a land, so that's not bad.
I like Castle Garenbrig in this, right? 6 mana, even though it's 6 green to cast creature
Castle's
spells.
Good.
It helps us cast it a second time. Second time, we're already in value there. Scryland here.
What do you think of Treasure Vault?
I've tested it in a couple of decks, and I've literally never activated it. Literally ever.
Never used it for that part.
I've played it onto the battlefield multiple times, and I've literally never used it.
Okay.
So I just always kind of skip it now. We can definitely grab it, throw it in there.
That's why I was asking. I was like, we're in big mana, so maybe there's like a turn where we could...
I'm taking out the Pain Land. I don't think that's necessary.
Ooh, Homeward Path is probably
actually
worth
relevant
it.
in here. Got Wasteland.
Blast Zone could put us into some niche situations where we could clean up the board.
Oh, there we go. Cuzzel's Fury, dude. We didn't even think about fling effects in here. All right. We're getting pretty down low on this. I mean, this adds 2 ETBs tapped, return a land you control to its owner's hand. It doesn't really ramp us, does it? All right.
The cycling one is kind of fun.
Yeah, let's see where we're at with our lands. I was thinking some cycling ones as well.
A couple cycling lands would be good. Forgotten Caves and...
All right, let's do... So at 38, we're getting low on basics here.
Well, keep in mind you added a couple MDFCs in there too.
We got 2 MDFCs for sure. But like cards like Cultivate, cards like Kadama's Reach, Rampant Growth, Circuitous Route, Explosive Vegetation, Migration Path. These at least grab forests. And so I feel like we don't want to go too tremendously heavy.
We don't.
Past, having 4 targets each here.
Yeah, maybe we could probably cut 1 or 2 fetch lands probably.
And add back in basics?
Well, no, because don't we have 40 lands right now? Is that what we're at?
38. 40 including the MDFCs.
Oh, okay.
Typically, I don't count the MDFCs in my land count, especially when we're trying to. But we can go down to 36 lands for sure. Which 2 fetches do you think we should cut? Scalding. Our front is red, so we want to make sure we hit our red. But like you said, it's only 2 red.
Yeah, I mean it's probably
Misty.
2 and 1. We just keep. Yeah, we could cut the Misty and.
Let's cut Misty.
We could just cut Misty and Verdant.
Verdant. Booyah! Snow Duel. Oh, Prismatic searches up a basic as well.
Will you type in
Maybe
Arch of Araska? No, it's 5. Never mind. That's way too expensive. Yeah, 8 basics. 8 basics seems good.
We're up to 9 basics. Yeah, we got a shit ton more green in here. So we'll just go 5 and 4. That's 30. Oh no, we were down 30. I forgot we were doing 36. We got Forest. 8 basics on this. War Room's already in there. Getting to 7 is the goal. Yeah, let's look at Myriad. Oh, I accidentally put it in there. Where'd it go? There it is. Pay 2, sack it. Up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm getting nervous about adding any more search up basics.
That could go.
All right, we're at 99. 36 including 38. So we got room to add 1 card in. Y'all talk about the deck, talk about the card. I'm going to take a bio. We'll add a card and then we'll go into our
oh yeah, we could cut. We do need
fishing.
Yavimaya. We could cut Yavimaya for. We could cut something for Yavimaya. That is a good ad.
What's good?
Yavimaya Hollow, the one with the 1 green regen on it.
Well, there you go. That puts us at 37 lands, 39 including MDFCs. MDFCs to regenerate. Chat, here's the list so you can look at it for yourself. I'm gonna go take a tinkle, and then we'll do a goldfish on this and see where we're at.
Nice. Need more draw. Big score, thrill of possibility. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Thank you. If you're just now joining, I promise we are not building Stang. We are building Etali from New March of the Machine. D-Hammer says, ram through. I'm going to the mat for this friggin' card. All right, let me look at it. Target creature you control deals damage equal its power to target creature you don't control. If the creature you don't control has trample excess damage, it is dealt to its controller instead.
$1,200 for this deck. Look at this thing. Sheesh.
All right, so D-Hammer, Joel, before we wrap this up completely, will you look at Ram Through really quick? D-Hammer keeps going on about this card, and I want to get your thoughts on it.
Ram Through's fantastic. Top tier removal in a deck like this. It's just, at this point, it's like we've gone so heavy on what the strategy is, we don't really know if we're like overdoing it in any realm, and we're not really going to get enough of a sample size. Obviously, any opinions we have after 1 or 2 goldfish is going to be completely biased towards the luck that we get of those. But this is excellent removal. Instant speed, 2 mana. The problem with it is that we got to have creatures on the battlefield, and this deck is creature light.
All right, CJ Joseph, just a thought, but if you're worried about card draw, why didn't you use Mana Dorks and ETB draw cards or greater good?
Just not the route we went. We went with land ramp over Mana Dork ramp. Who knows if we're worried about it right now?
Thank you. The idea is get Etali out, and then the card draw are the free cards that we get from our opponents and ourselves. Thank you, Amy.
I mean, that's not terrible. 100. Let's test it. Move over here.
Hand seems decent.
All right. So remember, Etali Primal Conqueror is our commander. We need 5, 6, 7 to play it. So right now, basically, we're playing get to 7. Kadama's reach at 3. Cuzzel's Fury,
Yeah,
we can still leave up right now. I say we go Rootbound Crag here. Draw a card. Nice. Rootbound Crag enters tapped because we don't have anything. That's fine. Around the table, our turn. Draw a card. Whoops. Guy's Gift, we've got a piece of protection. That's kind of nice. Let's just go... Any of these are going to enter tapped? No. Let's just go Keswick. Because we're funky. Next turn. Force of Vigor is what we draw. We're going to go Forest. We're going to play Kadama's Reach. Green, 1, 1. Search up to 2 basic lands. Here we go. We're just going to get a forest.
And a mountain.
And we're going to get a Montaña.
And
Close and shuffle. One's going on to the battlefield tapped. One's going into our hand. That goes into our graveyard. Next turn.
what do you mean click next turn? Is that something?
Oh, does that untap everything?
Oh, that's cool.
I play the game.
Hey, we're working
Forest.
with what we got. That way we're building with a commander that came out today rather than wait.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of this. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Skyshroud Claim. Search up to 2 forests. Let's get our
Shockland.
Let's get our Shockland. What's our shock?
It's a stomping ground.
Thank you. And the other one was our
Cinderglade, I believe.
yes. Close and shuffle. Here's battlefield. No, they just come on to the battlefield. Graveyard. So now we're open for nothing. Maybe should have played
right.
Temple of the False God as land for turn there. We're actually going to take it back and say that we did. So we would have tapped this Rootbound Crag because Forest would have been not played and we would have played Temple. So now we would have been 4 mana open for Force of Vigor. Destroy up to 2 artifacts and enchantments. Let's just go ahead and say on our EOT or on the opponent's EOT or at some point during that transition, we cast
we use that.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
And then we go next turn. I
honestly
did
not
it.
bad.
All right. So
can we Etali
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we can. 1, 2. Nope, we're 1 short. 1 mana short on it.
Okay.
But I think
okay.
we got to.
So
there we go. I mean, we went
we
land, Kadamas. Well, past there, this deck is kind of tough to goldfish.
Analyze.
Because at that point we would get 4 free spells. So we would get a free Rex Sage and then 3 other things.
Or we could get free Swiftfoot Boots and then no, because Rex Sage was on the library, right?
Yeah, this was on top of the library.
Got it. So we would get a free Rex Sage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the thing is, we get the free Rex Sage and then we get the other free stuff. And look what we're open with. Guy's Gift, baby. Reach, Trample, Hexproof, Indestructible. We're open. We're 2 mana open right there.
All right, so let's run it back. Let's restart. Do a new game. because that seems. Here, let's just play Stang. Let's just rent this deck and play Stang on Mitko.
I don't think it's gonna give us the experience that we're looking for.
Are you sure?
All right, so right here we've got.
Oh, this is a question. Does this deck need OG Etali in the 99?
I don't think so. It doesn't really serve our purpose of getting to our commander Etali or getting it, getting it back, protecting it. Yeah. All right, so turn 1, draw a card. We'll just go Forest.
Sure.
Turn 2, draw a card. We'll go Montagna. Turn 3.
You could just get Shadow Spear out if you're not doing anything with it, right?
Sounds good.
I mean, they could destroy it, but if we're not doing anything with that mana.
Wolf Run, say go. Well, we can play Steely Resolve at this point. Who cares? We'll name dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Next turn.
Creatures of the chosen type can't be the target of spells or ability. Wait. Oh, spells or abilities. So that's a Nombo.
We have a few of those. Those are our specialty. No, it's really just that and the Hearth and Home. Untap, Plaza. Let's say we were able to B-act there. Next turn. Mesa. Tap it.
BuzzFuzz does name Ogre. Yeah, let's say we named Ogre.
That was.
We ended up cutting Vale, Womp City.
Mountain, so we go get Stomping. Onto the battlefield. View library, shuffle and close. Yeah, so Treasonous Ogre. I think we could have even done that last turn. I think I skipped a turn on it.
Yeah, we could have done it on turn 4, yeah. And just get him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would have been on turn 4. We play Ogre.
And that's it. We take 21 life and cast it immediately. Getting Treasonous Ogre in our opening hand is like best possible outcome.
And then what's funny is that we happen to have Shadow Spear in our hand while we have played Treasonous Ogre.
Yeah.
And so we would, in theory, be able to get a big chunk of that life back as soon as we swing, which is nice. Which is kind of like the point of having that here is to... I guess in this very specific instance of this one hand
here, I mean, to me, yeah. It's a good one to go with Ogre. Not seeing our ramp is kind of a bummer. Seeing one Ogre, that's pretty excellent. I do like the Steely Resolve on calling Ogre there. But yeah. If we draw Treasonous Ogre and Shadow Spear in our opening hand...
So
we should absolutely win that game.
Steely could probably come out, right? What do you think based on how that went there? Do you still like it?
Let's do one more. I don't like...
Okay, cool.
I just happen to disagree with you on Shadow Spear still. Even in that very specific instance where it was really good. Now, here's a place where this fucking saves us. So this is a pretty decent hand. But Steely, I don't like either. No, to answer that question. Arid, easy pull for...
You still don't like the lifelink on him?
Stomping. No, it just seems like the worst card in our deck. But that's just my opinion. Close and shuffle. We got our Stomping Ground, so we are fucking set here. For turn 2, that came in play tapped. Turn 2, oh, nice.
I think Force of Vigor is the worst card in our deck.
Yeah, it could be. Nature's Lore. It's tough to analyze a lot of our removal right now because we're not running into things to remove. We just kind of have to like hold the place of it. But yeah, I mean, it's 4 mana destroy 2. Nature's Lore here. I think we definitely want to go get our other what'd you call it? Was Cinderglade?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Close and shuffle. Enters tapped. Don't care. Nature's Lore. Goes here. Next turn. Oh, wow. We draw 3 visits there.
That's good.
3 visits is actually very interesting here because we go 3 visits. We haven't played a land for turn. Is there a third preferred forest in our library? Do you know off the top of your head? We can go look at the list. Phyrexian and Etali. Yeah, like I said, it's hard to analyze the removal right now. Forest. We already got Cinderglade. Damn. Wow, God, dude. What if Raging Ravine had the land types? That would be the shit, right?
That'd be so... Yeah, it'd be so good.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have a third type, so we just go get a basic forest, I guess.
Yeah.
Easy call. Forest. Close and shuffle. Onto the battlefield, then shuffle. We haven't played a land yet. Temple now, so we're open to 4 mana. So we can use the removal, or we can Dockside, or we can Chaos Warp. All these 2 are instant. How many treasures do you think we got off Dockside, Jake?
Let's say 4.
Whoa! It fucking hit, baby. 2,
Let's see it.
3, 4. Well, I mean, that's next turn Etali.
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
It. I mean, it's
That's
next turn
it.
Etali regardless because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we just top deck a land, yes, sir, we did. That's another reason why we want to make sure our land count is up there. It doesn't matter. It's impossible. It's very, very difficult. And look, also, and this is to chat as well, removal is a meta play as well. You got to know what you're walking into. Play at your LGS, play on your Friday night tables, play in your league if you want to come play Commander League with us. It's a meta play as well.
Yeah.
Cycle land with the land types. Daniel, I don't hate that idea because we went so heavy on cards like 3 visits. Having a preferred forest that'll tap for 2 just smooths out our entire experience that much better. Dockside is probably actually the play here because we play Dockside. Well, it's only the play if we get 3 or more, right?
There is like
because
a case
Chaos
for
force.
There is a case for like a small package of like for example, like Bird, Llanowar Elf, just like a Flinthorn Elf, the 1-cost mana dorks, because then you set yourself up for like turn 2 Cultivate, turn 2 Kodama, which ends up being really good. It's just a matter of, you know, if we want to go in that direction. Because then the deck kind of reminds me about, you remember that old game Primal Rage where all of the little humans would root for the giant dinosaurs and like the giant apes to fight and kill each other, and then you could even like eat a human to gain back some life.
Right. Type forest minus type basic sort EDH rec. Taiga. Dryad.
Oh, Dryad Arbor isn't bad because it could be something that we sack. What was the cycling land that you were the
Sheltered Thicket.
The thicket.
Yeah.
The thicket.
Yeah, I think in a vacuum I like Sheltered Thicket in this deck.
John, yeah, you could squash them. That's right. They're just sitting there rooting for their favorite.
38, we can come down a land. What land would you cut here?
I would cut a fetch land that grabs a forest only if we still have one. A fetch land that only gets a forest. The Windswept Heath.
Windswept. Booyah. Booyah!
That's what I would go with. Yeah, Bob and I are on the same page there.
So from our very small sample size playtest here, we definitely are looking pretty sweet on making sure we hit our ramp. Here's another random hand. We're gonna have to play. I say we
Force of Vigor. Every hand we've opened. It's crazy.
It's hunting you. It's hunting you down. All right, we're gonna
I know
play.
how good Force is, though. Just we don't have the card to exile to do it.
Yeah, but this is such a big mana deck. We are ramping so much, and we don't really have anything to do unless we're ramping in between those turns.
Yeah.
So big mana, not arguing specifically for Force of Vigor here, but I think that spells that are a little bit more costly than normal, but give you a higher payoff, like destroying 2 artifacts or enchantments.
It's good.
That's why I like Decimate in this deck.
Yeah.
I think we would go Kozil's Cliffs here, turn 1. We go next turn. Oh, we would have drawn a card at the beginning of the other turn. Okay, now we're clicking. I think we got to go... Well, let's just go Command Beacon so we can go Arcane Signet, bot, and leave ourselves open for the best possible. Still got a Deflecting Swat, still got that. Cavern of Souls. That's fine. We don't need anything right now. Cavern of Souls named Dinosaur. We're open for... No, we're not open for Force of Vigor. So actually we should not play Cavern here, and we should just... Probably run Stomping Out and take 2, right? Boop, boop. And stay open with Force of Vigor. Let's say we used it, because there's always going to be 2 targets for it. That would take us to the next turn.
Oh, shit. Chat just came through with a big suggestion. And it's Cadiz, the elemental lizard that says whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That seems pretty good.
Blasphemous Act is what I would say we would probably run on this turn, because we don't have anything for 5. Really hate missing a ramp spell.
Yeah.
6 we go Cinderglade tapped. This is a slow version of it.
Yeah, this is a slow one. There's the Soul Ring showing up.
Yeah, so here we go. Cavern of Souls. We got 5, 6, 7.
Dino.
So we tap out for Etali, get 4 spells. Ours would be not that. It would be a free asceticism, which is actually pretty sweet to cascade into.
Mm-hmm.
I think this goes on the
bottom.
Oh no, it just gets exiled.
Oh.
Straight up exiled. Gone.
Okay.
And we have Etali on the battlefield.
This is Etali's rider.
We are tapped out, but we have Deflecting Swat in our hand.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And we have the Chaos Warp ready to go. So Etali comes out, can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent's control.
If we untap, yeah, let's fucking go. We go to next turn. We had to tap out to cast that, but we got Asceticism, we got Stang, we got Deflecting Swat. Let's say
we got whatever Etali gave us.
Asceticism. We cascaded into...
from our opponents too. So you got to think we might have something
for
them.
sure. It's just that's the hard part of this one to Goldfish is we absolutely got value off of them, and that starts the overwhelm here.
Yeah.
Oh, Gwenna. That's an absolute. So next turn we untap, and I mean we're money at that point. Tap the basic mountain for a Soul Ring. We got a Besiege You, we got Chaos, we got Deflecting Swat. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're 1 mana off being able to flip him still.
So then this turn, what we would do is we would go Migration Path
to
get a couple lands. Then we would stay up with our SWAT.
Yeah, we need diversity. Onto the battlefield tapped. Bop, bop.
And then I guess tap for the Migration, Soul Ring, and 2 green.
Yeah, whatever. I tap poorly, but it's all good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's say we use the deflecting swat to protect our asceticism.
Okay.
Next turn. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't even have to pay life. And we transform Etali into Primal Sickness. Swing.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess in that situation, if we got through on somebody who didn't have a blocker, then having Cadiz in hand, or Cadiz, however you say it, that would just be an instant kill. Just kill everybody right there.
I don't think it works like that. Whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. So this one doesn't come naturally with Infect. It says when it deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't kill.
Yeah,
it wouldn't kill them.
It's
It would
really
just hurt
impactful.
them.
I'm not saying it's not impactful. I just don't. It's not an instant kill because of Infect.
That's true.
Morning,
That's a good
Soren.
note. Soren, what's up?
But I mean, I will say this.
I think it would be fun. It'd be fun to test.
We have consistently been able to get our Etali out. We have consistently had protection for Etali. So like main 2 goals completely achieved.
Yeah,
and
in a
at that
couple
point,
different ways
it's like
we had
bicker
some
over
protection.
the inner workings, you know? I feel like the basic structure is there. I do. Oh, dude, Gwenna, look at this.
There's
Like,
a couple
how
of
is this
cards
not
that
a-
I think you and I don't agree on, but I think that's okay.
It is
One of the-
absolutely okay to disagree. Gwenna says add 2 mana in any combination, spend it only to cast creatures or activate abilities of a creature card, so it pays for both things. And I mean, the rest of it, you know, I don't mind a 2 mana dork for 3. The rest of it's kind of irrelevant to our entire game plan.
See,
thought it
here's the
said
thing
draw a
that I would
card.
do is I would cut the Dino Lord that makes it 1 less, and I would just add like a Llanowar Elf. Like I would cut that guy for just like a 1 mana dork, like a Bird of Paradise or something.
I like that it gives him haste. That's
It
pretty
does.
swag.
It is pretty good.
Wildly irrelevant to our entire game plan, but it's some extra
No, I mean-
value.
Yeah.
Well, this is really, we should build it like you want to build it. That is, would you add Bird of Paradise?
I would add any of the 1 mana dorks. They all die the same. So yeah, any of them. Bird of Paradise would be fine.
All right, we'll go Bird since it taps for any color.
Yeah.
What else would you do to it?
You know, I like most of where it is. The last playtest there felt a little slow.
Oh,
so
it was slow. It didn't even only feel slow. It absolutely was slow. You're right.
Yeah, so my thought would be maybe a little bit faster, a little bit sweatier, get stuff out faster. So like maybe like bring in like 4 1 mana dorks and then cut a few things. I wouldn't make any big drastic changes though. I think Mana Crypt is already in there.
It is.
Yeah,
Each
so
spell,
I would keep
each
Mana
spell
Crypt.
you cast that's red or green costs 1 less to cast. I like that. If you want to go faster, that's how you do it
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
not a bad card. That's a great card. That's a great card.
So we could cut Circuitous Route. We've already got Explosive Veg and Migration Path. On top of
Circuitous
Ranger's
Route could
Path
go.
and Sky Shroud that go get our forest types. So that's a remove. Just 1 step down from that. Mana Crypt's already in there, yeah. Boop. Like going faster, I think we cut... If you want to go all in faster, it's like asceticism. I just look at the higher end stuff. Asceticism and blood mist. Don't don't ramp us to our feller.
Yeah.
Shadow Spear, Sword, Whisper Silk Cloak, all could go. Don't ramp us. Don't really like. I feel like the protection that this offers is so narrow. This is a possible win. So of those three, I like this one the most. I mean, maybe even Commander's Plate can go. And Sensei's. If we're really trying to go as fast as possible.
I could cut Plate. Plate could go, I think.
Plate's already... Oh, Commander's Plate.
Yeah.
Do you like Sword?
Steely Resolve. Did we cut that?
Steely Resolve got... No, it did not. There we go. With Commander's Plate versus Sword of Hearth and Home. 5 mana to get it on. What is it? 4 mana to get this on? Oh, I
think they're the same. Yeah.
So 4 mana to get this on, so it's 1 less. And it gives us protection from white, blue, black. So it doesn't interfere with our... Let me compare these two side by side.
At that point, you're angling into Chrome Mox, Mox Amber, Mox Diamond, and Lion's Eye Diamond. Yeah. The sword does blink Etali, yeah.
4 mana. Yeah. Plate's gone.
So what do we need to bring in?
Sensei's, Shadow Spear, Sword, and maybe Whisper Silk Cloak are the 3 that you could potentially play with. You know, depending on how many playtests you get in, I think that there's a lot of manipulation of this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those 8 could be messed around with. This section, Decimate could probably come out if you're looking for cuts. Everything else, I mean, again, removal is tough and it's very meta based, so you gotta kind of check your meta for that. But in this group, I kind of like where it's at. I think Decimate and Vandal Blast, it's removal. You got to figure it out for yourself. Past this, ramp protection, ramp. Reclamation Sage is kind of a question mark. We might could find something better there. Ramp. That's basically like turn 4 Etali.
Well, we're at 98 right now, so what do you think those other ones should be? Probably a couple dorks, right?
Yeah, I was thinking dorks.
We could just go Llanowar and Glenhorn. Need more card advantage. Yeah, possibly so.
I honestly think that we really need to see how hard Etali is hitting. Because I think that getting 4 free cards, I just don't think we're able to show
really
off
know just how good it is.
Right,
yeah,
how much value that's going to get us.
Yeah.
Nah, we didn't really like Gwenna for this deck. Why is this? Oh, sorted by EDH, right? We want to sort by CMC here. Sacrifice. Yeah. Llanowar? Oh shit. That's not gonna find it by itself, is it?
Llanowar.
Did I pronounce it wrong?
No.
Or spell it wrong?
I think so. Blood Moon. Yeah, maybe in here Blood Moon isn't bad. It's a mean EDH card.
Jesus. I was like, I am not seeing it here.
Yeah, and then I guess the other one we can do is just like... Yeah, I guess Flinthorn Elf. Says do a quick refresh if you're going to show my version.
How do you spell the
FLYN? Nope, I'm spelling it incorrectly.
Yeah, I was looking at the 2 mana options. I mean, 2 mana options still allow us a turn 3 one of the 4 mana ramp spells.
FYND. Findhorn. There we go.
Boop. That's 100 main deck.
I think we need one more.
Turn 1 Arid. View library. Go get our shock. Oh, I've already forgotten the fucking name of it. We're just gonna get Cinderglade. Doesn't matter.
And draw a card too.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Goes in shuffle. We got Cinderglade. This goes to graveyard. That's 4. That's 4. That Farseek is gonna be huge here. Next turn. Oof. Oh my god, we're so fucking lucky. Rootbound Crag. Farseek. Pacow. Go get our other one. Where are you, Shock? What's the name of it? Stomping Ground.
Stomping. Yep.
I can just enter
All right,
tapped.
so that's end of turn 2.
Yep. Turn 3. Draw.
Go strip mine, I guess.
Yeah, we'll go strip mine. And let's just go ahead and Ranger's Path. Or Skyshroud Claim, doesn't matter what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Tap. View library. At this point. Oh, we did get one other for angle shooting. What was the name of the
Cinderglade?
No, we got Cinderglade. The cycling
Shattered.
one. Shattered.
Oh, Spire Garden.
Nope.
No.
What's the name of the cycling one?
Secluded Steps.
No.
Secluded.
No.
Fuck, what is it? Here, just keep going. I'll notice it when we see it. Shelter. Yep, that's
Shelter. Thank you. Sheltered Thicket. There we go.
Okay.
Close and shuffle.
So we get that.
Those go right onto the battlefield tapped. This one. Okay, so let's say we played.
So that was turn 3. That means that we turn 4 Etali here.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it doesn't matter if we needed 2 mana here, so these can have just come into play tap. That's fine. It was a good time to play those. Next turn, we have Temple. We go. Yeah, we got a tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have one floating, and Etali hits the battlefield.
Yep. That seems like a pretty good turn 4, pending it didn't get countered or anything like that.
For sure. This is completely no interaction, no countering.
Because that Etali is going to ETB. And the thing is, and what's cool about it, is once you cast it for 7 and you get that ability, it doesn't matter if they path to exile it or swords or anything like that. It's already entered the battlefield and it's already done what it needs to do.
So we would have gotten, at the very least, a Treasonous Ogre onto the battlefield. So now we can recast it.
Well, in theory, with Treasonous Ogre, we could flip it. We could play the Treasonous, and then we could
take
just
9 times 3, take 27.
Yeah.
And then flip it immediately. No, 27, 28, 29, because we'd have to take 2 for the Phyrexian as well. And then we have a Trampling Indestructible, deals combat damage. They get that many points encounters. Yeah, that's a funny little...
Treasonous is just stupid, honestly. It's a very...
it's really good.
It's a really sweaty card, but it's very good. Yeah.
All right, chat. I think that's where we're going to leave this version of this deck for now. I actually think it's in a really good place.
I can't wait to play test it. So what we'll have to do is once the set comes out,
right,
we'll have to come back and do a stream where we run some games. And yeah, BuzzFuzz, shoot us a link of your deck. We'll look through it at some point too.
We got it right here.
Oh, this is Buzz's here.
Sort by mana value. Yeah. Alright, so we're seeing some... Alright, this makes a copy of a target creature in your graveyard, so you gotta leave it in your graveyard, but that's not a terrible idea. Some rampers. Is this the one that draws cards? No. No, it's just another ramper guy. Yeah, a few more creatures, get a lot of value out of this. Create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature that's tapped and attacking. So this is to get a token. You'll have to sack the token immediately, but you do get the token to ETB. You get extra crazy value off of all the extra cards.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few too many hoops to jump through this for me on this card. But I don't mind it. I actually really like this card in this deck. That's very good.
Oh yeah, that is good.
I could take or leave Titan. I could take or leave Silverback. Hellkite Courser absolutely has to go into our version. ETB's put a commander you own from the command zone right onto the battlefield. It gains haste and it's got to go back to the command zone after that. But like, yes.
It seems good, yeah.
If you... So question,
Robert,
if you flip a card that we brought on with Courser, so if we play Courser... get Etali straight on and then flip it, does it still have an idea of it existed? I'm just going to put Hellkite Courser in the maybe board. I'm not familiar on the flip cards. It's the same card. It'll bounce back. It'll bounce back. It'll bounce back. Yeah. But still, dude, I mean, 6 mana. We can get to 6 mana on turn 3, 4 if it's going correctly. And we get one free. Does that add to the tax? Hellkite Courser's ability? Or not because you didn't cast it?
Yeah, I don't think it does.
That's awesome. Hellkite Courser is so fucking good. It's unbelievable. So good. Oh, let's check real fast. Ramp. It's all ramp. This is in there instead of Force of Vigor. Destroys all. I like that. Love Decimate. Traverse is interesting. Don't particularly like that. Good.
No, but he has a lot more creatures than us.
Yeah, for sure. This just creates 4/4s, and each of those tokens fight a different one of those creatures, so.
Yeah.
What is this? Exile target creature, return the exile card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next step for 3 mana? Is this a new card just from... What is this from? Just from Brothers War?
Bro. Yeah, so I think Buzz is taking this more in the direction of getting the most out of Etali's front side, which is definitely a direction that you can take this deck. I think the back end of the card is really, really good.
Yeah.
The back end of the card is just, it's a win condition. If it gets through, it's killing somebody. It doesn't matter if their health is 1 million. You're going to get through and kill them with poison counters. So that's the value on the back, but the front is very, very much worth abusing because it's like we said, it's like Chaos Wand on a commander. It's actually better than Chaos Wand. It's like Wand of Wishes. If we read Wand of Wishes, it's pretty much the same kind of thing.
Why have I seen more people running this?
It's just a late Soul Ring.
A lot more people have been running this recently. I've seen it pop up in way more lists recently. Did it suddenly get like
Yeah.
Is there some trick I'm not aware of with Soul Talisman?
No, it's just an extra soul ring that comes in later.
It's a budget pick. I can see that. It's only 40 cents. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
There you go. Buzz said I personally just like it. There you go. That's all you need to say. Commander is that way, baby. I want to run that card because I like it. Done. No argument.
Yeah.
We don't have to like it. That's not a prerequisite. Yeah, man. This is going to be a fun one to revisit and see if we can win a game with it.
Yeah. And I definitely think we'll have to come back and revisit it as soon as the set is out. If there's one thing we know, the set will be out soon. When does March of the Machine make its debut? When is its release?
MTG Arena and Magic Online, April 18.
Yep. In store April 14th through the 20th. So we are super close.
There's
Just super
another
close.
one. We built this. This is in order. Commander Community. Here we go. Community Gitrog and Thalia. We have to revisit. We built this as auras. Look at this. We got SRAM in there. We built this.
SRAMmy boy.
How did we build this, chat? Wait, view primer. There we go. Strategies: Voltron, auras, enchantments, forced blocks, creature tokens for Thalia's attack trigger. So it says creatures and non-basic lands your opponents enter the battlefield tap. When it attacks, sack a creature, land, then draw a card. First striking, death touch. We were trying to go in on auras, on forced blocks, running things like...
Oh, I remember this now.
Like Lure.
Yeah.
All creatures able to block enchanted creatures do so. We also built
I do
Yargle and
remember this.
Multani. Ramp it out as quickly as possible. And then Gerard. So basically we're demonic tutoring for Gerard. This is sort of the... Review the primer here. Combo fling drain strategy. Sideboard contains the attack strategy if you want to pivot it. Ramp it out. Somehow search up. We got ways to do it. Multiple ways to search cards up. Search up our creatures. Reanimator. We're going to sack another creature. Each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. And the power of this is 18.
Have we talked about Brock and Kari yet?
That's are you talking about? Are you talking about the other one in the thumbnail? No, unfortunately, we only got to Dinosaur tonight. That was the one that everybody was hyped on. Next up, Sam, loyal attendant, halfling peasant. Let's get this build going. No, I'm just kidding. It's 12:30 on the East Coast. I am tired.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If you missed our stream earlier today, we covered with commentary all of the spoilers from earlier today. So definitely check that out if you want to get that going. Otherwise, we will come back to Etali. And yeah, Bob said make sure to add the new Etali to the Gishath deck. Yes, we will end up putting that in there. That's a good note. That is definitely a good note.
The community Gishath deck welcomes all of your new dinosaurs.
Thank you, Jake and Joel, for the hours of fun today. Corey G, thanks for hanging out. BuzzFuzz, thanks for hanging out. Everybody, we appreciate you so much. This has been a fun time.
Good night. God bless. We love you all. Ending stream 3, 2, 1. Ending stream 3, 2, 1.